for Spring Hill High School football.
He's in the slot again to the right. Myers gets the snap. Standing tall in the pocket, going to take the shot down the seam. Klutz is there for a touchdown. Spring Hill. Barker up the middle. Nice jump cut out to the right behind his center, Denver Gardner, who had the middle linebacker tied up. And Barker is in for a 9-yard touchdown.
Spring Hill Sports Live is brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning, Price Chopper, Kim Thompson at Prudential Financial, the Spring Hill Recreation Commission, Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Cedar Lake Village, Crown Realty, the Elliott Insurance Group, Prime Accounting Solutions, Farmers Insurance, Leah Smith Agency, Tri-Century Bank, Allstate, Libby Clark Agency, the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce, Spring Hill Fitness, Perfect Detail Salon, and Whitesell Optometry.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time for Bronco football.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
And good afternoon. It's not normally we get to say good afternoon for a high school football game on a Friday night, not quite lights time yet, here in Paola, Kansas tonight. Panthers Stadium for week 4 of the high school football season, and with the potential of some severe weather rolling into the area later on this evening. This kickoff has been moved up to a 4:30 kick, so we are getting you set here on the Comfort Designs pregame show. It's the 2-1 Spring Hill Broncos and the number 3 ranked 3-0 Paola Panthers in this week 4 matchup, a Frontier League battle between the Panthers, who I mentioned are undefeated, 2-0 in the league, and looking to continue their trek towards what they feel like is a very likely chance of a Frontier League title this year. Spring Hill's chances of a Frontier League title took a little bit of a hit last week with the loss to Bonner Springs, but they're hoping to bounce back and put themselves right back into the conversation with the current league favorite anyway, the Paola Panthers, who are currently ranked number 3 in the 4A polls. Last week for Spring Hill, it was a 35-21 loss at home on homecoming to Bonner Springs. They outscored Bonner 14-7 in the second half of that game, but could not overcome their slow start, which saw the Broncos dig a 28-7 halftime hole. So now at 2-1, they visit the Panthers of Paola, who cruised to their 3rd straight win to start the season. They dominated Ottawa 56-3, and at 3-0 for the 3rd straight season, they've outscored their first 3 opponents this year 162-24. So they have yet to be challenged, with a 48-21 victory over Bonner Springs on opening night, and then back-to-back road victories, 58-0 over Fort Scott and 56-3 last week at Ottawa. So the Panthers are rolling in at 3-0. Spring Hill at 2-1 as we get set for a little Friday afternoon lights, we'll call it still. We will have the lights before it's all said and done, about halftime maybe of this ball game, but it is going to be hot, that's for sure. Now, these guys are accustomed to practicing at this time of day every day, so it's not like it's completely foreign, the heat, but certainly for a kickoff, a heat index right now of 95 degrees. That's just in general. Then you go down on that field turf, and it goes up even higher than that. So certainly hotter than it would typically be at a 7 o'clock kickoff. There's a nice breeze out of the south. Nice, I guess, for a little bit of a break from the heat. Not nice for the team traveling into the south end zone, but about a 15-mile-per-hour wind coming from the south with this north-south facing field here at Panthers Stadium in Paola. Just getting started here on the Comfort Designs pregame show. We'll take a look at the rest of the Frontier League action. Talk with the head coach of the Broncos like we do every week with Jason Feeback. That's coming up as well. Check the starting lineups and the keys to the game as the Panthers host the Spring Hill Broncos here on Spring Hill Sports Live. 4:30 kickoff, so glad you're with us. Maybe your plans changed. You weren't able to make it down here to Paola because of the early kick. Work, I know, that darn work thing, right? Got in the way perhaps. So hope you can tune in here to Spring Hill Sports Live. We've got the game for you all night long. Coming up next, a look at that Frontier League schedule as you're listening and watching the Comfort Designs Pregame Show on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453. Elliott Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Insurance Group, we work, live, and shop in our local communities, serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years. Elliott Insurance Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Insurance Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to Cool Crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back inside the Comfort Designs pregame show, brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning, locally owned and operated for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs is Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Learn more at comfortdesigns.net or call 913-592-4453. Getting set for a little earlier than usual kickoff on a Friday night as the Spring Hill Broncos are down in Paola, Kansas tonight to take on the undefeated number 3 ranked Paola Panthers. That's the matchup we got here. But elsewhere in the Frontier League action, the area matchups are brought to you by Spring Hill Fitness, your local community gym. Spring Hill Fitness is dedicated to making a friendly, judgment-free environment open 24/7. Check them out on Facebook or call 913-686-2027. Baldwin visits Eudora tonight, and somebody's getting their first win of the season. Both have started 0-3 on the year. The head-to-head's been won by Baldwin the last 2 seasons. Over the last 15 years, though, the two teams are nearly dead even. Baldwin having won 8, Eudora winning 7. Tonight, I believe they likely even that up at 8 apiece. We'll see, though, if my prediction of the home team coming out on top in that one is correct. But one of them going to get in the win column for the first time in 2019 as 0-3. Baldwin is at 0-3. Eudora tonight. Good matchup in Bonner Springs, where the Braves picked up that big win in Spring Hill last week. Now they host Tonganoxie. Tonganoxie right now ranked number 6 in the 4A polls. They are 3-0. Bonner Springs at 2-1. Tongi looking for just their second 4-0 or better start over the last 12 years. The only other time they started this well was in 2017 when they were a perfect 9-0 before a playoff loss to DeSoto. For Bonner Springs, they have lost the last 2 head-to-head with Tonganoxie, but both have been close games, so could be another really good one tonight in Bonner Springs. Piper looks to keep their undefeated start going as they visit Lewisburg. Lewisburg got in the win column last week, a much-needed first win of the season. That is the first time since 1983 that it took till week 3 or later for Lewisburg to pick up their first victory of the year. 5 straight wins over Piper for Lewisburg. Perhaps, though, this the year that the Piper Pirates get in the win column against those Wildcats. They haven't beaten Lewisburg since 2014. That also happens to be the last time that Piper started the season 4-0, which is what they're looking to do tonight. Ottawa at 1-2 plays outside the league tonight. They will be in Chanute, who is 2-1 to start the year. And DeSoto, that's the matchup that Spring Hill will have next week when they return back home on senior night. Lansing is the opponent tonight for DeSoto. Lansing enters at 1-2. DeSoto, they continue to roll, albeit against less than stellar competition. The Wildcats have outscored their first 3 opponents this year 188-33. That's an average game score of 62-11. However, those 3 opponents, Leavenworth, Wyandotte, and Turner, are combined at 2-6. And one of those 2 wins was Leavenworth over Turner. DeSoto should be on their way to another win tonight, which would be their third straight 4-0 start. I mentioned some of those teams in the polls. K-Prep's top 5. They've got Paola up one spot to number 3 after their rout of Ottawa, and after number 2, Goddard's loss at Andover Central last week. Spring Hill's low non-league opponent, which we mentioned they'll see next week, DeSoto. They remain at number 4 in the K-Prep's 5A poll. Catch it, Kansas Week 4 ranking. Spring Hill out of the top 10 after that loss last week to Bonner Springs. They would have been up to number 7 after their 2-0 start, but now out of the top 10 by Catch It, Kansas. Paola up one spot to number 3 behind number 1 Bishop Miege and number 2 McPherson. Tonganoxie stays put at number 6, and Piper holds their spot at number 9 as well. DeSoto moved up 2 spots in that 5A poll to number 7. And the Spring Hill volleyball team, they continue to climb the KVA 5A polls, now up to number 2 in the 5A polls is Spring Hill Volleyball after their 17-0 start to this season. 2-time defending state champ St. James Academy still atop the poll. They are also undefeated this year at 11-0. We'll have live match coverage from the Spring Hill Varsity Volleyball Tournament 1 week from tomorrow, coming up on October 5th. That's what we've got elsewhere around the league tonight. Those matchups brought to you by Spring Hill Fitness. Coming up next, we'll chat with the head coach of the Spring Hill Broncos, Jason Feeback. You're inside the Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning pregame show. More to come as we count you down to kickoff about 20 minutes away here in Paola tonight between Spring Hill and Paola on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Weitzel Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Weitzel Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Weitzel and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call Weitzel Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020.
What if grass wasn't just for mowing? What if all the games weren't on TV? What if you saw the grandkids on more than just holidays? What if you got out of the house more often, maybe for good? Cedar Lake Village Senior Living. Life is how you live, not just where. To learn more, call 888-508-2022.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net. This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back to the Comfort Designs pregame show. Joining us now is the head coach of the Broncos, Jason Feeback. Coach, one of the things that you talked about back in August with us was wanting to see how your guys would respond to some adversity this year, and now you're coming back to work after that first loss of the season. So what have you seen from the group?
You know what? We've had a great week of practice. And it's been energetic. It's been fun. Our guys are locked in, and it's been great. You know, you see the way we played that second half of football, going in with a couple new guys, and the way we fought back after we were down, pretty good. I think showed a lot about our guys, and then the way they came out to practice this week with that mindset. I'm really pleased. I love this group. I love these guys.
Yeah, you talked about the second half there. Obviously, dug a pretty good hold in that first half to put yourselves in that position going into that second half. What are some of the correctable things you saw from that first half of the Bonner Springs game that maybe you corrected in that game and also now been able to correct leading into week 4 now?
I think it goes back to, our theme of the week was back to basics and getting better at blocking and tackling, obviously. And when you got a guy like we saw last week, he's going to make you look like you don't know how to tackle quite a bit. He's pretty good. Again, we just continue to work on fundamentals, getting the right mindset and the process of doing that and going about your business and getting yourself ready for a big game on Friday night. And not that I felt like we weren't ready, but, going back to the table, sitting down, figuring out, hey, how are we going to go do this? Going in, showing up and doing the work. And So I think that's been a big thing with us. Just continue to work on the little things. We've had 3 weeks of film on our guys now to evaluate and kind of see really what we're doing well and what we need to continue to work on. And the thing is, you're now you're getting in the meat of your schedule here, and you got Paola. You're at their place, so you don't have a lot of time to fix a lot. So you put the guys out there that are being coachable and playing hard, and you roll with that. So continue to work on the basic fundamentals of football. If you block better and you tackle better, you're going to have more success.
What were some of the things when you looked at that 3-week juncture of the season there, that 3 weeks worth of film? What were some of those things that you talk about seeing your team doing well that you feel like are, weren't just a coincidence that they were doing that well in 1 week or the other, but that you feel like that's really a strength of your team right now?
I think the strength of our team right now is how hard our guys play. And, it cleans up a lot of things when you don't have to coach attitude and effort. So I like the way we play. I like the intensity we play with. A lot of times we got 9, 10, 11 guys on the football. So I like the way we hustle. Offensively, I like the discipline we run with our routes. I like how it all has been working together and been able to produce some big plays. We've been able to maintain some drives. So being able to take care of the football has been huge. Defensively, we got the ball back 3 times last week. So, forcing turnovers and trying to establish good field position. Special teams has been really good for us. So, continue to build on that strength. And just, coaching guys up.
7 fumbles recovered now by your defense in 3 games so far this year. How much time and focus do you guys put into practice on that art of creating turnovers and being those ball hawk type players on defense?
I think a lot of good stuff happens when you just get several people to the football. And we've been able to do that. We also do turnover stations every Thursday. We have 6 stations that we run through. And we go, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes on every station. Everybody does them. And it's just a focus to get you thinking about, one, securing the football, because we have a station where we do that. And then the other one is going to get the football back. We have a fetal recovery. We have a scoop and score. We have a first man wrap up, second man strip the ball. And so, just trying to focus that. But then when you got kids, just go play hard. I think that creates a lot of good fortune for you.
As you prepared this week for Paola, it's another team that wants to pound the rock, and they do it with multiple backs, their quarterback included. Where do you kind of begin to key on this offensive attack from Paola?
The thing about Paola is they are so physical on their offense and defensive line, and that's what they hang their hat on. And they're not the biggest guys we'll see all year, but they are physical. They get off the ball, they maintain blocks. They do some things, and they want to run sweep, they want to run off tackle, and they just want to try to get you in formations that are going to give them an edge so they can get numbers. And then if you over adjust, they're going to hit you on the backside. And they do such a great job there of how they run their offense, and it's simple, but it's very complicated, and the preparation that it takes to get a defense ready for all the formations and all the adjustments you have to make, and really all they're trying to do is dive off tackle and toss sweep.
We've talked a lot about your guys' defense so far here today. We haven't talked a whole lot about the offense, but they're going to have a tough task as well against a very stout defensive front for Paola. Multiple all-league guys in that front 7 for them. Where do you feel like your offense can match up best with the Paola defense?
We have a little bit of speed. Knowlton's been really good for us at slot. And then Barker, he does a really good job. He's really established himself as a solid runner. And we're not going to change who we are going into week 4 of the season, having some success offensively. So a lot of our offense runs through Barker, and him being able to pick up the yards and our line gelling and just continuing to push. That's continue to take care of the football. And when we get an opportunity, we got to score.
You mentioned earlier that the special teams has been pretty good for you guys so far this year, and I feel like that's an appropriate thing to bring up this week, especially the kickers. Both teams, you and Paola, feature really good kickers, and an important facet of the game, and we've seen that impact already that Bear Gardner can have in winning a football game for you guys. How would you describe?
And I think he's had 6 or 7 touchbacks. That means that the other team's starting on the 20-yard line, and when you can get a team that has to drive 80 yards for a score, that percentage of them being able to score goes way down. But then, he can also put it up in the air and give our guys time to cover. And so that's been really good for us. I think our average starting drive on our defense is probably the 22-yard line on the season. And so that's part of the reason why we've been able to do that. The more plays that you make the offense run to score, the better chance you have of getting a turnover or, getting a stop. So Bear's been really good on that. And I think that's something that goes overlooked with Bear is how much he helps us on field position. Our punter, Logan Greenhall, has been doing a good job. I think he has six punts inside the 10. And so that's huge too. So we're doing a really good job of giving our opponents a long field. And then you throw in the fact that we're really taking care of the football pretty good. It gives us a good chance to, make them drive a long field and give us a chance to get the ball back on a punt return, and give us a shorter field. So field position is huge. Yeah, that's the thing Paola does so well is they will play the field position game and just pretty much try to strangle you out.
That's the head coach of the Spring Hill Broncos, Jason Feedback. Coach, appreciate your time as always, and good luck.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Coming up next on the Comfort Designs pregame show, tonight's starting lineups and your keys to the game, all on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Your local farmer's insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Open, flexible, and dedicated to our clients with impeccable customer support. That's why you choose Tri-Century Bank. Have your bank right in your hands with mobile banking and manage your money from the comfort of your home with convenient online banking. Tri-Century is ideal for your business with competitive rates on loans and credit cards to help meet your goals. For 125 years, Tri-Century Bank has been serving Spring Hill. To learn more, join them for one of their monthly coffees. See upcoming events at tricentury.bank.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back into the Comfort Designs pregame show as we get set for kickoff here on this early evening kickoff. Because of the threat of some severe weather, we've got a 4:30 kickoff here tonight between Spring Hill and the Paola Panthers on Spring Hill Sports Live. It's time for our keys to the game. They're brought to you by Crown Realty. Let Crown Realty help you get the keys to your dream home, and check out all of their listings at crownrealty.com. And if you're in the market to sell your home, remember the key is a great agent. That's what you'll find at Crown Realty in Spring Hill. Call 913-592-2222. We'll start with some improved tackling for the Spring Hill defense. That's going to be a must here in this one tonight. Their run defense allowed a season-high 317 yards last week against Bonner Springs, and now they're tasked with trying to slow down a Paola offense that's averaging 363 yards per game on the ground. So an improvement in that rushing defense, and specifically the tackling, is a must for Spring Hill to get that win here tonight. Win the battle of field position. Paola has faced it on short fields this season. They must make the Panthers execute some long drives, and that means no explosive plays as well. So not only do they need to win that field position battle, but they've got to limit the explosive plays. Last week, they gave up 10 plays of 20-plus yards against Bonner Springs. And on the year now, 19 plays of 20-plus yards allowed by this Spring Hill defense. That's nearly 6.5 per game. The offense just produced 2 of those explosive plays last week, and they lost that game to Bonner Springs by a pair of touchdowns. So they've got to be better in that area in this ball game, and that comes with forcing Paola to make long drives. Get them back in field position and then make them execute 8, 9, 10-play drives as opposed to the 50, the 40, even the 35-yard chunks. They can't give up those. Make the Paola offense run more plays. Give your defense more of an opportunity to create a play because they have forced 7 turnovers this year in 3 games. Spring Hill's defense, 3 takeaways last week. All 7 have been fumbles, and this is a team in Paola that's going to run the ball a ton, so a chance maybe to force a few more of those here in this one. And don't get discouraged if the offense comes slowly. That's easier to say, harder to execute, but the Bronco defense, if they're unable to succeed with the first 2 keys, then, well, you got to put the pedal down a little bit there, but let's hope that the Spring Hill defense can execute those first 2 keys. And if that's the case, this is not a Paola defense that's going to let you score a bunch of points. It's going to be the defense going to have to stop them. And then the Paola defense, they don't surrender much. They're only giving up 8 points per game. They give up 8 points per game last year. There's not a lot there. This is a very stout defensive front. They got 2 first-team All-League defensive linemen back, a first-team All-League linebacker back. They're holding opponents to a combined 55 rushing yards in 3 games. That's the 3 teams combined for 55 yards on the ground. Evan Letillier will start at quarterback in this game for the injured Corbin Myers, so he gets his first start of the season, came in relief last week for Myers, and had some good plays, executed some good drives for the Spring Hill offense. They're going to need more of that from Evan in this one. And that will lead us right into our starting lineups, brought to you by Perfect Details Salon, 516 North Webster in Spring Hill. The Broncos will start this game in style, but nowhere near the level of style you'll find at Perfect Details Salon, where they're devoted to making clients flawless from head to toe. Make an appointment online at salonperfectdetails.com or by calling 913-592-5022. So I mentioned Letillier starting a quarterback for the Spring Hill offense. Zade Barker, their workhorse back, 56 carries, 369 yards, and 7 touchdowns this year. He's in the backfield. Zach Knowlton, Daniel Mitchell, Gage Klutz, those are the normal receiving targets, and Cameron Crotchett will step into the starting lineup, taking the spot that Letillier normally starts at on the outside, although he's now, as I mentioned, at quarterback. This offensive line remains the same. Aaron Dominic, the left tackle, Wyatt George, the left guard, Denver Gardner, the center, J.B. Watkins, the right guard, and Tanner Thompson, the right tackle. Defensively, for the Spring Hill Broncos, Aaron Dominic and Carson Downs, the defensive ends. Logan Greenhall in the middle of that 3-4 defense. Jacob Stovall, Wyatt Dickey are the middle backers. Chase Wilm and Jackson Rounds on the outside linebackers. The corners are Dom Shear and Cody Powell, and the safeties are Brady Larson and Hunter Williard. On the other side for the Paola Panthers, their starting offense features their junior quarterback Garrett Williams, first-year starter. He's putting up huge numbers this year, completing 70% of his passes for 206 yards and 4 touchdowns, and a team-high 368 rushing yards with 5 touchdowns. The 3 guys in the backfield that'll all touch it and all start. On the wings and in the back, Evan Phillips, Fletcher Audi, and Connor Haas, a second-team All-Frontier League player last year. The outside targets, Bo Robeson and Evan Puser. And on the offensive line, 3 returning starters, including a first-team All-Leaguer from last year, Mikey Stribling, the right guard. Also returning starters, left tackle Clayton Essex, left guard Carter Staunchfield, center and Javier Castillo, and the right tackle Alan Puser are both new of that starting lineup. And on the defense, it's Jake Carr at one defensive end, Clayton Essex at the other, Mason Talcott and Javier Castillo, the defensive tackles, Mikey Stribling, Jackson Earlywine, and Evan Puser. The linebackers, Evan Phillips and Graydon Brenneman on the corners, Connor Haas and Garrett Williams are the safeties. Kickoff is next. You've been watching the Comfort Designs pregame show on Spring Hill Sports Live.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to Cool Crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. When it comes to protecting your family, home, and business, look to a local, community-minded agent. In Spring Hill, that's Allstate agent Libby Clark. With more than 15 years of industry experience, Libby and her team are committed to providing a customized family protection plan that fits your needs. A full-service agency, Libby Clark offers a broad range of insurance and financial services, building relationships with a focus on helping their neighbors. That's the Libby Clark Agency. Visit them on the southeast corner of 223rd and Harrison in Spring Hill.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back live to Panthers Stadium in Paola tonight. Earlier than normal kickoff, 4:30 kickoff set because of the threat of severe weather later on today. So thank you for joining us here on this late Friday afternoon, early Friday evening for a hotter and earlier than normal kickoff as the 3-0 and number 3 ranked Paola Panthers host the 2-1 Spring Hill Broncos. Along with Caden Carbajo, I'm Bryce Kessler as we are excited to bring you this matchup. Spring Hill hoping to make a little noise after that loss last week and bounce back in a big way, and this certainly would accomplish that if they're able to come on the road and pick up a big win here at number 3 Paola. You can see the coin toss happening right now. It's a hot one, 95, the heat index, about a 15-mile-per-hour south wind. The field sits north to south, so one team will be going directly into the teeth of the wind to start this ball game, and that will be the Broncos. As you can see there, it was Spring Hill that won the toss and deferred their decision to the second half. So Paola will receive the football, and they'll have the wind at their back to start. Now, the wind not necessarily as big of an issue for Paola because they are a heavy rushing team. They want to run the ball, and they average 363 yards per game on the ground, only throw the ball for 90 yards per game. And it's not so much because they can't throw it, it's more because they don't need to throw it because their rushing attack has been so successful this season. So don't expect that to change, especially when they're going into the wind. We may see them, though, because of the scouting report being so strong, run heavy, maybe with the wind at their back to start this game, they might take a shot or two on the opening series. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that as the Spring Hill defense has unfortunately been prone to the explosive play. They've given up 19 plays this year of 20-plus yards, this defense for Spring Hill. It's time for the opening kickoff, brought to you by the Spring Hill Recreation Commission. With fall sports in full swing, the Spring Hill Rec Commission has turned their sights to basketball season. Registration is open now until November 15th for youth basketball in Spring Hill. Register online at springhillrec.org or by calling 913-592-2214. So the Spring Hill defense, which we'll see first this season, they're allowing 344 yards per game, almost dead even across the board, 174 on the ground and 170 through the air, giving up 22 points per game through 3 weeks. And that Paola offense putting up a healthy 54 points per game through 3 weeks this year with 363 yards per game on the ground and 90 through the air. Bear Gardner will kick it off, and he's been a touchback machine on the kickoffs, but again, kicking into about a 15-mile-per-hour wind, although it does look like, at least at the current moment, it's died down a little bit. So we'll see what kind of a boot Bear can get on this opening kick as we are underway from Panthers Stadium in Paola tonight. This is an end-over-end kick that's fielded about the 12-yard line, and Paola will set up shop from about the 30, it looked like, but then Haas able to break a tackle and get to the 35. Brady Larson and Hunter Williard make the tackle on special teams for the Spring Hill Broncos. So here comes Garrett Williams and the Paola offense. Evan Phillips, he's 24 in black. Fletcher Audi, 25 in black, and Connor Haas, 9. They go spread 5 wide, and now that's Haas, the man in motion, who gets the handoff. And Connor Haas is out to the 45-yard line. He's gang tackled there by Wyatt Dickey, Jacob Stovall, Jackson Roundzon. 3 of the 4 starting linebackers for Spring Hill make the tackle. But it's a 10-yard first down carry for Connor Haas. And Paola moves the chains on their first play from scrimmage. Haas, their second leading rusher this year, 324 yards. He scored 4 touchdowns. Twice has gone over 100 yards in their 3 games. First and 10 of the 45. And breaking a tackle at midfield with first down yardage again is Evan Phillips. Roundzon chasing him down the sideline, and Phillips will take it out of bounds voluntarily at the 19-yard line. It's another big play allowed by the Spring Hill defense. That's 20 times this year they've given up 20-plus yards on a play as they surrender 36 on that run to Evan Phillips, and it's first down and 10 from inside the red zone. No huddle, quick attack offensively for Paola. And now Williams pulls back out of center. They'll check to the sideline, and here comes a first and 10 snap from the 19-yard line. Haas, slowed down by Denver Gardner of the backfield, takes it to the 16-yard line. 3-yard run brings up second down and 7. Opening drive for the Paola Panthers. They are going quick on this opening drive and doing what they do so well, and that is run the football, a 363-yard per game average through 3 weeks, piling up 54 points per game. Second down and 7 at the 16-yard line. Evan Phillips with the carry. Hunter Williard stands him up, but the pile pushes forward, maybe a hair inside the 10-yard line, going to be just short of a first down after a 6-yard run by Phillips. So the first third down of the game comes up for Paola, albeit a very short one. Third down, less than a yard for the Panthers from the 10-yard line. And it's Williams on the keep. He's got plenty for the first down. They're going to mark it at the 6-yard line, give Williams 4 on the carry, and it's first down and goal to go for Paola on their opening drive as we are not quite 2 minutes in to this opening quarter. Paola yet to huddle. They're going to keep the pressure on the Spring Hill defense. The big 36-yard run by Evan Phillips got him down here into the red zone. That's Phillips who goes in motion, and instead they give it to the fullback who reaches for the goal line, and he's got a touchdown. Fletcher Audi, his first carry of the game, goes for his 4th touchdown, or rather a 5th touchdown of the season for Fletcher Audi. A 4-yard score, and Paola, they made quick work of that opening drive, marching it right down the field. 65 yards in a minute and 58 seconds for the touchdown. Ryan Wokach, the kicker, is on, a senior kicker who was first-team All-League last year. With the bright neon yellow cleats on, he puts the extra point through, and it's 7-0 Paola with 10:02 left in the first quarter. You're watching Spring Hill High School football on Spring Hill Sports Live. Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
7-0 Paola on top of the Spring Hill Broncos with 10:02 remaining in our opening quarter as the Paola Panthers, number 3 ranked team in the 4A polls entering this week, they went right down the field without much resistance at all. Faced just 1 third down on that drive, but that was a third and less than a yard. They easily converted that, and a 36-yard run by Evan Phillips helped propel that drive down into the red zone, and they finished it off a few plays later as Wokach sends the kickoff with that 15-mile-per-hour wind at his back through the end zone for a touchback. And Evan Letillier, the starting quarterback this week for the Spring Hill Broncos, replacing the injured Corbin Myers, who they hope to have back soon. But for this week anyway, it's Letillier, the junior, who gets the start. He was 4 of 13 through the air for 24 yards and ran 4 times for another 24 yards and a touchdown last week in relief of Myers, who got hurt right before halftime in the loss against Bonner Springs. Zay Barkers is back. Knowlton, Mitchell, Klutz, Crotchet as targets to the outside with Dominic, George, Gardner, Watkins, and Thompson up front. A Spring Hill offense that's averaging 32.5 points per game this year. 208 on the ground, 111 through the air. And they'll spread things out with Letillier out of the shotgun, faking to Barker. And a deep ball down the sideline is incomplete, intended for Zach Knowlton. Coverage on the play by Connor Haas for Paola. So into the wind, too, mind you, on that first pass of the game. Spring Hill, they'll be much more affected by the wind than the run-heavy Paola attack. And right now in this first quarter, Letillier and company going into that strong wind that has died down a little bit. It's still a little bit gusty, kind of comes and goes, but not too bad right now as we get this game underway in the first quarter. Knowlton gets the carry out of the slot this time, and Zach Knowlton just short of a first down. Taken out on the sideline right near that first down marker by Mikey Stribling, the middle linebacker for Paola. So the carry by Knowlton takes it out to the 29-yard line. 9-yard run brings up 3rd down and 1. The offense this year for Spring Hill converting 3rd downs at a 33% clip, 8 out of 24 for the year. And this certainly what you like. If you're going to have to face 3rd downs, you want them of this variety. 3rd down and 1 against a very, very stout rush defense for Paola. They average only 18.3 yards per game against them on the ground. Barker gets the carry, and he's hit in the backfield and taken down for a loss. The first man there was Carr. He's the one who stood him up, number 1 in black. And then it was Evan Puser, the outside linebacker, who finished the tackle. Forward progress will put it right back at the regular line, or the original line of scrimmage, on no gain for Barker. But unfortunately, it brings up 4th down. And Logan Greenhall, the punter for Spring Hill, is onto the field. Greenhall averaging 39.6 yards per punt on 10 punts so far this season. Garrett Williams is the deep man for Paola, and it's blocked. The punt was blocked by Paola. Javier Castillo got a hand on it, and that's going to set Paola up with great field position as they block the punt and will take over at the 28-yard line of Spring Hill. Castillo on the block. It was one of the Paola linemen who recovered it. It looked like 51, J.B. Watkins, who recovered it. Didn't matter at that point, though, as it was not attempted to be picked up or anything by Paola, so just downing it at the 28-yard line. That's where the Paola offense starts their second possession with a 7-0 lead already. They toss it with a student body left. Look to Connor Haas, who cuts it back to wide open space and a touchdown. 28-yard touchdown scamper from Connor Haas as he hit the cutback, and there was nobody home on the Spring Hill defense. A 28-yard touchdown run for Haas gives him now 5 rushing touchdowns on the season, matching Garrett Williams for a team high in that category. Our first team all-league kicker, Ryan Wokach, is on for his second attempt. Was perfect on the first kick. And he misses this one off the upright on the right side. So and that'll make it 13-0 in favor of Paola. 8:55 left of the opening quarter. Panthers by 2 scores early on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to Cool Crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Perfect start for Paola in this one. They lead 13-0 with 8:55 left in the opening quarter. Opening drive, 65-yard touchdown drive a 3-and-out blocked punt and a one-play 28-yard touchdown drive. Connor Haas doing the work on that one has given Paola, the number 3 ranked team in the latest 4A polls, a 13-0 lead after the second extra point kick was missed off the right upright. Dom Shear watches this one sail over his head out of the end zone for another touchback. So early on, as we look at some of our keys to the game, revisiting those from the pregame show, improved tackling. We've seen some missed tackles already and some wide open running lanes early. So going to have to improve on that key to the game. Second key, win the battle of field position. That certainly hasn't happened early on in this one. After that block punt gave a short field. And again, Spring Hill with the wind in their face this first quarter, starting again from the 20-yard line. And we talked about not getting discouraged offensively if it comes slowly against this stout defense. Well, now all of a sudden you're already down 2 scores. So you can't panic yet, but certainly need a response here offensively. That pass too high for Knowlton as Letellier could not hook up with his slot man. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10. Obviously, you'd love points, but I think even more than just that at this point, it's a must that they sustain a drive a little bit here. Spring Hill move the chains a couple of times, and at the very least get the field position flipped back. Certainly would take some points, but another 3-and-out could be devastating to this team early on with the way that Paola's offense is rolling if you end up giving them another short field. They'll try the ground with Barker off left tackle, and Zane able to run over a defender out to the 25-yard line. Garrett Williams, the starting quarterback, playing both ways for Paola, makes the tackle. 5-yard run by Barker, and it brings up 3rd down and 5. Second 3rd down of the game for Spring Hill. They're 8 out of 25 on 3rd downs for the year. Paola's defense, they have, again, been really good against the rush. They've been really good, period. 155 yards per game allowed, just 8 points per game allowed. Letellier going to the air and to set up a screen for Barker, but it is read perfectly and blown up for no gain. In fact, a loss. Garrett Williams, who starts as one of the defensive backs on the defense and the quarterback of the offense, and he saw that one all the way as Barker had no chance after making the catch. He loses 2 yards, and it's yet again a 3-and-out for the offense of Spring Hill. 7:44 and counting left in the first quarter. 2 3-and-outs for the offense. 2 touchdown drives for the Paola offense. And now Greenhall had the last punt blocked by Javier Castillo, who came right up the middle. This time the punt is away. Low spiraling kick that bounces at the Spring Hill 48-yard line, then kind of sits right there and will be down at the 46 by Aaron Dominic. You're going to mark it actually at the 45. So from the 45-yard line, the Paola offense will once again have great field position. They started on their own 35, went 65 yards for a touchdown. That drive took just 6 plays. And then they started at the Spring Hill 28-yard line, took 1 play to score. Now they'll start on the Spring Hill 45-yard line with 7:20 to go in the first quarter and already leading 13-0. Phillips leads them in rushing at this point, but it's been Audi and Haas who have found the end zone. Haas is the motion back. Fake the toss to him, and Williams takes a deep shot with the man wide open and overthrew him. That was Evan Phillips. So again, a team that doesn't throw a lot, but when they do, it's usually pretty effective. Garrett Williams on the year has only attempted, coming into the game, 10 passes. He's completed 7 of them for 206 yards and 4 touchdowns. So they don't throw it a lot, but when they do, it is almost always a big play. And they had one right there, right for the picking, except the pass was just a little bit too far. And now brings up 2nd down and 10 from the Spring Hill 45. Back to the ground they go with Connor Haas. Another missed tackle, and Haas off to the races. Cody Powell chasing him down the sideline, but he can't make the stop either. And Haas is in from 45 yards this time for a touchdown. His 2nd already of the first quarter. And it's 19-0 Paola with an extra point pending less than 5 minutes into the opening quarter. A couple more missed tackles there, and Haas, unlike his teammate earlier, Evan Phillips, who decided just to go out of bounds on the sideline. Haas lowered the shoulder and ran through an attempted tackle by Powell about the 5-yard line, and in for his second touchdown of the game, 6th of the year, and now a 2-point conversion attempt coming up for Paola as they try to get the point back after the missed extra point after the last touchdown. Williams rolling to his right and dumps it off to Evan Phillips for the 2-point conversion, and that makes it 21-0 Paola with 7:06 to go in the opening quarter on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
21-0 Paola leads Spring Hill with 7:06 to go first quarter. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Paola offense. 2 possessions, 2 3-and-outs for the Spring Hill offense. Wokuch on the kickoff, and like the previous 2, this one will end up through the back of the end zone, and another touchback will set up Spring Hill's offense from their own 20 for a 3rd straight drive. And let's see if Evan Letellier and the Bronco offense can get something going here on their 3rd attempt at this excellent Paola defense. They hang their hat on the defense, and that seems hard to say when you look at what the offense has been able to do this year. But this is a team that is certainly very proud of the defense. Last year gave up 8.8 points per game. This year giving up just 8 points per game. And really it's lower than that if you want to be honest, because a lot of the points they've surrendered this year have come in garbage time against opponents when they've already been up 40, 50 points. Barker on first down picks up 4. Mason Talcott makes the tackle for the Paola defense. So Barker with 9 yards on 3 carries. He's halfway to the total rushing yardage that Paola allows per game this year, which is just 18. Granted, that was helped tremendously by the last 2 weeks. They held Fort Scott to -6 yards on the ground. They held Ottawa to also -6 yards on the ground. But even against that Bonner Springs rushing attack that put up over 300 yards against Spring Hill last week, they held them to just 67 yards. Barker again on the carry, picks up 6 yards out to the 30 and moves the chain. First down of the game for the Spring Hill offense. That's Gardner, the center, who had his shoe come off on the play, but he's able to get that shoe back on without having to come out of the game. 7-yard run officially on that last carry for Barker. Puts the ball at the 31-yard line for Spring Hill. A 1st down and 10 with 6:15 to go first quarter. Hot afternoon football game with the threat of severe weather tonight. The normal 7 o'clock kick moved up to a 4:30 kick. Certainly hasn't affected the Paola guys with 21 points on the board already. 1st and 10 from the 31. Barker this time tries the right side, but he is hit at the line with nowhere to go. The pursuit there to help finish off the tackle after Mikey Stribling helped stand him up along with Clayton Essex, who was a first-team All-Frontier League player last year at defensive end. A loss of a yard back to the 30 for Barker. And it's 2nd down and 11 for Spring Hill on their 3rd drive of the game. Picked up their first down of this ball game on this drive. Now behind the sticks, though, after the loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11. Letellier fakes the handoff to Barker and hooks up with Klutz over the middle. Gage Klutz with a 1st down as they're trying to strip the ball out of his arms. Klutz holding on tightly. They'll mark him at the 45-yard line. A 15-yard completion from Letellier to Klutz, and it's a 1st and 10 for Spring Hill as they've started to move the ball a little bit this drive finally against this Paola defense. Maybe I don't see a flag. It might be right along the sideline, though, where the Paola guys are shielding it from my sight as there's a conversation. There was a flag down, thrown back near the line of scrimmage. And it's just a sideline interference warning, it looks like. That's the head ref. I never saw him make any signals to anybody, but the line judge of the intersect came over here and waved his arm up and down the sideline in front of the Paola coaches. So a sideline warning after the 16-yard completion to Klutz. So nothing happens on that one. Next time it'll draw a 15-yarder against Paola. First down and 10 for the 46-yard line. 4:45 left in this opening quarter. Spring Hill down 3 touchdowns already. Zaid Barker with a patient run out to the 48-yard line for 2. Well, you're not going to get a lot of big chunks on the ground against this defense. So far, 6 carries, 17 yards. They've established Barker well against a really good defense. If they can hit a few more of those quick little passes, as Letillier did with Klutz a moment ago, almost had Knowlton earlier on one of those quick passes, that will help pull the linebackers back off a little bit and maybe give Barker even a little bit more room to work. But a nice looking drive here for Spring Hill. 2nd down and 8 from their own 48. Jet sweep to Knowlton. And Zach Knowlton able to turn the corner for first down yardage and more as he's into Paola territory and taken out of bounds by Stribling at the 35-yard line. A 17-yard run for Zach Knowlton, and it's a 1st and 10 again for Spring Hill. Well, this is the drive they needed last time, or every time for that matter, but certainly after the back-to-back scores by Paola, they could have used a drive like this. They'll take it now and hopefully can get the guys in white settled down a little bit into this ball game, trailing early 21-0 as we go underneath 4 minutes on this snap left in the quarter. First down and 10 from the Paola 35-yard line. Fake to Barker, and Letillier able to make Carr miss the backfield. Took a big hit then as he got back to the line of scrimmage. That was Javier Castillo, the defensive tackle, who made the tackle. He's the one who had that blocked punt earlier as well. So no gain for Letillier, who ran for 24 yards and a touchdown last week. That was in basically one half of action. He played the final drive of the first half for Spring Hill, and then the entire second half, starting in place of Corbin Myers this week. They're hoping that Myers will be back sooner rather than later. But for this week anyway, it's Letillier's job at quarterback, and he's got the Broncos on the move here on their 3rd series. That's Knowlton on the hook up down the seam. Pretty good coverage there by Connor Haas, but Letillier put it right on the money to Zach Knowlton down to the 3-yard line for 32 yards on the hookup, and it's 1st and goal, Spring Hill. Couple of chunk plays, and now some confidence building for the Spring Hill offense on their 3rd drive of this game. They're into the red zone where they have been very effective this year. They have scored on 11 of their 12 red zone drives this season. The only one they didn't was at the very end of that Ottawa game when they didn't attempt to, and they just had the JV squad in there in the reserves. Direct snap to Barker, and Zaid is into the end zone for a Spring Hill touchdown. 8th touchdown run of the year for Zaid Barker, and there was a nice drive by the Spring Hill offense. Answering the call after 3 straight scores by Paola, Spring Hill able to get a much-needed answer this trip. 3-yard touchdown run by Barker, and now Bear Gardner is on for the extra point attempt. It'll come out of the hold of Knowlton, as that's a switch as well. Normal holder Corbin Myers not out there with that injury, and it's Knowlton who puts it down, and it is Gardner who puts it through. 21-7, Paola the lead, but Spring Hill on the board as they go 80 yards for the touchdown of their 3rd drive of the game.
When it comes to protecting your family, home, and business, look to a local, community-minded agent. In Spring Hill, that's Allstate agent Libby Clark. With more than 15 years of industry experience, Libby and her team are committed to providing a customized family protection plan that fits your needs. A full-service agency, Libby Clark offers a broad range of insurance and financial services, building relationships with a focus on helping their neighbors. That's the Libby Clark Agency. Visit them on the southeast corner of 223rd and Harrison in Spring Hill.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Much needed answer from the Spring Hill offense as they take it down for a touchdown, an 80-yard drive capped off by a 3-yard run from Zaid Barker for his 8th touchdown run of the season. And it's now 21-7 Paola with 2:54 remaining in our opening quarter. A couple of big plays to Zach Knowlton on that drive. Had a 17-yard jet sweep and a 32-yard reception from Letellier, who completed both passes he attempted on the drive. 16 to Klutz and 32 to Knowlton. Kickoff muffed on the initial catch, and then nothing coming of it as Lamont Hill is taken down back inside the 15-yard line. Cody Powell on the stop at the 13. So now the field position for the first time favors Spring Hill. A 13-yard line start for the Paola offense, who has scored 3 touchdowns on 3 possessions so far. They have not had a whole lot of resistance offensively. 136 yards on the ground, averaging 17 yards per carry through their first 3 possessions. And I don't think either team took a timeout. I think they're just giving a courtesy timeout for water right here. Caden, did you see it? Did they signal a timeout from anybody? Okay. I was looking down and getting the stats all situated, and I did not see what the signal was for the official, but I believe I heard him saying water, water. I believe they're just giving the guys a chance to water up here, which is smart. It's not cool out there by any means. Heat index right now currently at 94 degrees, and then you get down on that field turf with the sun baking on it all day, and it's usually another 10 or so more as far as degrees hotter. So it's probably pushing 100 on the heat index down there on the turf, if not more. So chance to make sure everybody stays hydrated, and now we'll get back to some football here. 1st and 10 to the 13-yard line for Paola. 3 perfect drives for the Panthers so far, and they'll start on the ground. Toss to Connor Haas. Stringing it out was Brady Larson, but Haas able to spin away from him, and then finally rounds on, and Williard and Dickey make the tackle at the 21-yard line, but not before an 8-yard pickup by Connor Haas. 21-7 Paola with just under 2.5 to go in this first quarter. 2nd down and 2 yards to go. Long look over to the sideline for the play call. Now Williams goes under center with 13 on the play clock. Hand off to the first man through, who's going to be right at the sticks. Fletcher Audi, who had a touchdown on the opening drive. He takes it to the 22-yard line. Just a yard gain there for Audi, and that will bring up 3rd down and 1. Second, 3rd down of the game. They converted their only other, and it was about the same. Only needed a yard on it. And they try to go with the quick snap with Garrett Williams, but he's stopped. No gain on the play. So now it's 4th down. Williams right back under center. May have even lost a half a yard on that one. 4th and a long yard. The ball's marked between the 21 and 22. They need the 23 for a first down. Williams will give it to his I-back Connor Haas. This time he's got a first down out to the 30 as he picks up 8 yards on the 4th and 1, and they move the chains. So that 4th down conversion for Paola now makes the opponents this year against Spring Hill 8 of 9 on 4th down attempts. Late substitution, Brock Pitzer is the running back who comes running into the game there, and that's because Connor Haas was a little bit shaken up. He had to come out of the ball game after that last carry, and because of the late substitution, wanted to make sure personnel is all situated correctly. Paola will take their first time out of the ball game. So a timeout with 1:08 left in this opening quarter. Paola with a 21-7 lead here on their home field on their hot Friday early evening, as we would normally be still 2 hours away from kickoff, but expecting a storm later on tonight. Some rain, a lot of lightning. That's the expectation anyway, and so because of that, they said we don't want to mess with having to postpone and move play half a game and then come back tomorrow morning and finish the other half of the game. And a lot of schools across this part of the state moving kickoff times up to that 4:30, 5 o'clock range. So certainly hotter than a normal Friday night kickoff, but they practice this time of day every day, so that's not like it's foreign circumstances to them, but just not in the game. Of course, JV games, not that these guys are on the field tonight, but at one point in time they were, most of them anyway, probably JV players that play at this time slot as well. So not a big factor, but certainly a little bit different than a normal Friday Night Lights situation. 1:08 left here in the first quarter, and it's first down and 10 at the 30. Garrett Williams, after the fake, keeps it himself, and the Paola quarterback is out to the 37-yard line. Slung down by Larson and Stovall. Mark him at the 36 for a 6-yard run, and it's second down and 4. Under a minute left in the quarter. Team that doesn't huddle much. They look to that side. You can see in the bottom of your screen there, they have the signs begin held up, giving them those play calls. Right at the first down markers on the carry there was Phillips. And they're going to move the chains. They mark it at the 40, right at the sticks for a first down on a 4-yard run by Phillips. First down and 10 from the 40. Perhaps the final play of the quarter. They don't have to snap it if they choose not to, and it doesn't look like they will. So we've reached the end of one. It's 21-7, Paola on top of the Spring Hill Broncos through one on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Weitzel Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Weitzel Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Weitzel and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call Weitzel Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020. When it comes to protecting your family, home, and business, look to a local, community-minded agent. In Spring Hill, that's Allstate agent Libby Clark. With more than 15 years of industry experience, Libby and her team are committed to providing a customized family protection plan that fits your needs. A full-service agency, Libby Clark offers a broad range of insurance and financial services, building relationships with a focus on helping their neighbors. That's the Libby Clark Agency. Visit them on the southeast corner of 223rd and Harrison in Spring Hill.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
21-7, Paola leads Spring Hill as we head to the second quarter from Panthers Stadium in Paola tonight. Very hot, sunny afternoon, evening ball game. The wind, which when we got here to the stadium earlier, was gusting around 15 miles per hour or so out of the south, which is the direction that Paola is headed now. But it has since died down considerably, and not a whole lot of wind to speak of as we start this second quarter. And Connor Haas, who was shaken up near the end of that quarter, is back on the field to start the second. And he rips off 15 yards on first down before Roundzon and Larson make the tackle. But it's another first down for the Paola Panthers, who continue to pile up the rushing yards. 178 yards on the ground, averaging 11.9 yards per tote so far. From the Spring Hill 45 on a first down and 10. Evan Phillips down to the 40-yard line. 5-yard carry as Hunter Williard and Dom Shear make the tackle. Second down, 5 yards to go. 3 backs to the backfield. They are not afraid to use a whole bevy of backs. They will run the quarterback. They'll run these 3 guys, Phillips, Audi, Haas. You'll see Pitzer, Johnson, Shea. Lots of guys get a chance to run the rock for Paola, and that's Connor Haas again. Driven out by Cody Powell at the 24-yard line. A 16-yard run by Haas. And what a first half it's been for Connor Haas. 8 carries, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns already. He's 12 yards shy of his season high on the ground. And we've still got 11 minutes to play in the second quarter. At the 24-yard line, it's first down and 10 for the Paola Panthers. 31K Johnson is in the game now for Paola. He's the left back on the 2 upbacks. They go the opposite way, though, to Fletcher Audi. He'll take it into the red zone to the 20 or to the 19-yard line. Jackson rounds on the stop for Spring Hill. 5-yard run for Audi. And back into the red zone go the Paola Panthers. Their previous red zone trip in this game resulted in a 4-yard touchdown run by the last guy to touch it, Fletcher Audi. And they're getting out of that part of the field now where we have the window pane affect the view. Blown up play in the backfield as Garrett Williams didn't have the guy he wanted to hand it off to. Somebody went the wrong way. Carson Downs, along with Roundzon and Williard, make the tackle at the 16-yard line. There is a penalty flag, and it's going against Paola. That's a hold against the Panthers. The only place in the field where, because of the booth where we're set up and where the camera is, you can't see is from about the 15-yard line in on the south end zone from the numbers to the sideline. So currently right where they're headed, although this one pushes it back to the 29-yard line. So Haas was out of the game for a moment. They're getting some more attention over on the medical bench. He's back in, though, as he comes running on, replacing Cade Johnson. Second down, 15 yards to go from just inside of the 29-yard line. Evan Phillips gets the chance, and he is down to about the 17-yard line. Tackle made by Brady Larson for Spring Hill. That's another 12 yards for Phillips. That's the thing as well, even on a really, really hot day like this, when you've got really 3 running backs plus a 4th if you count the quarterback that you can call their number, it keeps the guys fresher than just having to hand it to one guy 30 times in a game. Phillips trapped up in the backfield that time by Jackson Roundzon. Big tackle by Roundzon on that 3rd down play. Stops him at the 16-yard line and keeps him 2 yards short of a first down. So another 4th down decision to make for Paola. They've got a really good kicker, first-team all-league kicker in Ryan Wokach. But they're going to keep the offense on the field for a 4th and 2 from the 17-yard line. Garrett Williams, quarterback keeper. That's going to be awfully close. He got to the 15, but I'm not sure he got anywhere past that. He needed to get down near the 14, and where the line judge has it marked, he's going to be short as Spring Hill's defense holds on a 4th down. There's the signal from the officials. Stovall and Dickey, the 2 middle linebackers, came flying in there as Logan Greenhall stuffed up the middle at the defensive tackle spot, and they get the stop on a 4th down and 2. They hold Williams to 1, and Spring Hill takes over on downs at the 15-yard line. So for Spring Hill, that's their now 3rd stop this year, not allowing points by an opponent once they've gotten into the red zone. They come up with a big stop there, and all of a sudden with 9:29 to go in the first half, back with the ball and a chance to get this back to a 1-score game. Barker to the 19 for 4 on first down. 3 straight touchdown drives to start for Paola, as that is Wyatt George, their starting left guard, a little bit slow to get up after that last player, starting right guard with a little bit of a limp back to the line of scrimmage here. We'll keep an eye on that with George. 2nd down and 6 from the 19. Barker for a 2nd straight carry, this time to the 22-yard line for 3 more. That give him 2 more to the 22, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. 0 for 2 so far on 3rd downs, and George going to come out of the game. So Wyatt George, we mentioned he had a little bit hobbled on the play before that. He stayed in for 1 play, and then he goes out of the game. So a new right guard in the lineup right now, and that is Claney Flaming, who has come in to play right guard. Mikey Stribling walking off the field for Paola. Their middle linebacker had a helmet issue, so he comes out. And with 8:12 and counting to go in the first half, a big 3rd down coming up for Spring Hill. 3rd down and 3 on their own 22-yard line. Letillier will start out of the pistol. Looking to the 3 receiver side, hits Knowlton in the hands, but he was hit immediately, jarring the ball loose on contact. Jackson Earlywine, and that will force the punting team out of the field for Spring Hill on another 3 and out for the offense of the Broncos. Unable to capitalize after the stop on downs on the previous Paola possession. But now Greenhall's got a little bit of a breeze that there is, and as I take a look down at the flag, it is picked up a little bit again. So let's see if Logan Greenhall can get away a nice punt, flip the field back. Late sub running onto the field is Jackson Roundzon. Play clock is down to 4 or 5, now to 3, and they just get the snap away. Greenhall able to get a nice punt away, driving Williams back to near his 25-yard line, catching it on a back pedal, and he's got only white jerseys in front of him, but a pretty good job by Williams getting back to the 37 or 8-yard line, making something out of what looked like nothing there. They're going to mark this one. Nobody got the spot. Now they're going to mark it at the 39. Well, the official who should have had the spot, I don't know what he was doing. He was running over to the sideline to talk with the other one, and I think in the end, Paola gained about a yard, maybe 2 here because of it. And now an official's timeout, and they're going to water again. They're going to allow the guys a chance to hydrate up with 7:44 left in the first half. 21-7. Paola with the lead on top of Spring Hill. Bronco defense able to get a stop down in the red zone last time Paola had it to end a stretch of what was 3 consecutive touchdown drives to start the game for the Paola Panthers, who entered this ball game ranked number 3 in the 4A polls. Spring Hill last week came in number 7, but that home loss to Bonner Springs saw them tumble out of the top 10. Along with Paola, 2 other Frontier League teams find themselves in the top 10. Tonganoxie is at number 6, and Piper is at number 9. Spring Hill will play those 2 teams in week 6 and 7. Tongi and then Piper both on the road. And that's after next week they host DeSoto, who's ranked number 7 in the 5A poll. So it'll make for 4 consecutive ranked opponents, with 3 of the 4 on the road. Certainly a tough stretch in the schedule for Spring Hill. And then after that, they'll end the season back home against Baldwin, who tonight is in Eudora. Both those teams are 0-3. Somebody's going to pick up that first win of 2019 in that one. So back to action we go. A 14-point lead for Paola. They'll start on their own 39-yard line this time. And they're going to go to the air on first down. Phillips out in the flat is all alone. A lot of space for Evan Phillips after the catch. A big crackback block by Lamont Hill has left Hunter Williard a bit shaken up. That was a dangerous block from Lamont Hill, and Williard is going to stay down, and they're going to give him some medical attention. Yikes, you just don't like to see blocks like that. They have legislated a lot of those types of blocks out of the game, and for good reason. So let's hope that Hunter Williard will be okay after that one. Lamont Hill on the block that leveled Williard after the run by Phillips after the catch, took it all the way to the 34-yard line. They picked up 27 yards on the pass completion, their first pass completion of the game. So Williard is able to get to his feet. I think Hunter wants to stay in the ball game. He was going back to the huddle. Unfortunately, he will have to come out of the game, but you see him jogging off the field without any assistance. So that's a great sight to see right there. Senior defensive back Hunter Williard, 3rd on the team right now, 9.5 tackles per game. 2 fumble recoveries last week, so tied for a team high there as well. And he's standing right on the front of the sideline, getting some water ready to go back in. Whether the coaching staff will clear him, the medical staff will clear him to come back in remains to be seen, but it was very good to see him jogging off the field like that. So back to action we go from the 34-yard line. Paola into Spring Hill territory with a first down and 10, 7:18 left in the half. Panthers lead at 21-7. Now to the traditional eye, it's Evan Phillips on the carry. Grady Larson with the tackle at about the 27-yard line. They'll mark it at the 28 for a 6-yard or a 7-yard run. Phillips, the featured man on this series. He splits out wide to the left now. And they've got Audi, the fullback, and Haas, the tailback, in the backfield for a 2nd down and 4. At the 29-yard line. Haas the carry, and that's going to be very close. Line judge running in right at the 24-yard line, which is where the first down markers are. And they're going to say just short. So, yeah, the ball's not quite, they mark it not quite to the 24. 3rd down and a yard to go. They've gone with that quarterback sneak multiple occasions. Just 1 for 3 on 3rd down so far. Williams gives to Audi, and he's got a first down at the 20-yard line. Larson and Dickey make the tackle. But a 5-yard run for Fletcher Audi, and it's 1st down and 10 at the 20, another red zone trip. 3rd time into the red zone for Paola. A touchdown the first visit, but then turned it over on downs last time they had it here. Midway through the 2nd quarter, 14-point Paola lead. Fake to Haas, Williams keeps it. And Garrett Williams brought backwards by Roundzon at the 16-yard line. A 4-yard run for the quarterback, who they've, to this point, kept in check. Just 15 yards on 5 carries for Garrett Williams. Coming in through 3 weeks, he's been Paola's leading rusher with 368 yards, averaging 10.8 yards per carry. But they have done their work on him, unfortunately. Connor Haas has run for 135, and Evan Phillips has added another 71 on the ground. 2nd and 6 from the 16. Toss to Haas. Good job stringing it out, and Aaron Dominic blows him up in the backfield. So Aaron Dominic with his 4th tackle for loss this year. Knocked him down back at the 19-yard line for a 3-yard loss. Good job as well. Anthony Lakin, who's in at corner on the right side, the defensive right side, and Chase Wilm, the outside linebacker, setting that edge on that outside, not giving Haas a chance to turn the corner. And then Dominic running it down, blew him up. Another timeout is taken by Paola here with 4:26 left in the half. 2nd charge timeout to the Paola Panthers. They'll have a 3rd down and 9 coming up out of the timeout from the 19-yard line. And so far, they have converted 2 out of their 4 3rd down attempts. But after rumbling for 3 straight touchdown drives, really without much resistance at all from the Spring Hill defense on their first 3 possessions, the Broncos have done a much better job last series and this series. And the offense found a way to get it in the end zone as well in the meantime. Still down 2 touchdowns, though, with 4:26 left in the half. It'll be 3rd down and 9 for Paola. This will be the longest 3rd down they've had to try to convert. Most of them have been pretty short. That's the thing about an offense like Paola's. They very rarely go backwards. They did just a moment ago on that last play, which is the reason they're in this 3rd and 9 situation now. But very rarely, with the offensive line and the running backs they have, does anything go for negative yards. So even on what they would consider non-successful plays, they're picking up 2-3 yards, and means really you're facing 3rd and 5 and less almost every time, and makes everything much more manageable. But now, after the -3 last play, they face 3rd down and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Connor Haas. He won't have a first down, but he gets it back down to the 16, they'll mark it. So he gets the 3 back that he just lost. And that was the type of play call when you have every intention of going for it on 4th. You try to make it a more manageable 4th by taking up some of it on that 3rd down run. I don't think they probably got as many as they were hoping for, but now they face 4th down and 6, and they'll go for it for a third time on fourth down. Play fake to Haas. Good pressure by Roundzon, but Williams gets away from him. Garrett Williams at the 15-yard line, tripped up and brought down by Jacob Stovall, and it's another turnover on downs for the Paola offense. Second time in the red zone that the Spring Hill defense has come up with a stop, and both of them have been a turnover on downs. Good job, Roundzon of the initial pressure, and then Stovall running him down as Williams is credited with 2 yards on the carry, but he needed 6, so Spring Hill will gladly give him those 2 and take over possession of the football again with 3:46 left in the half. Have to start deep in their own territory again, but they'll certainly take the stop. But again, the camera, you see that you can't see it all because of the window pane here in the booth. So the handoff goes to Barker for a short first down carry, a couple of yards to the 17-yard line. The only spot on the field that you can't see in the camera is where they've played, it seems like, this entire second quarter, right down here on the near hash of the south end zone. That's the only spot of the field that you can't see, and that's the only place they want to play right now. Go figure. Second down and 7 as they gave 3 yards on the last carry to Barker. Play clock down to 10. Letellier sends Knowlton in motion and gives it to him. But nowhere to go as a flag is thrown from the head ref behind the play. Clayton Essex there. Another flag is thrown as well by the far line judge. And the initial signal is against Spring Hill. There was a loss of about 3 yards on the run for Knowlton. But there were 2 penalty flags thrown. So the initial signal by the head ref was a call against Spring Hill, but by the conversation, it looks like there may have been a second penalty against the defense. They're going to call an illegal motion against Spring Hill and a face mask against Paola. So they offset and will replay second down. So no harm, no foul on that one, and it'll be second down and 7 again at about the 17.5-yard line. Spring Hill down 21-7. 3:02 left to play in the first half. Knowlton the motion man. This time they fake it. Letellier to throw, and it's behind. Klutz incomplete. Coverage on the play from Paola linebacker Jackson Earlywine. Earlier there were 2 guys there. It was Earlywine who got his hand on it. And probably a good thing that pass was thrown behind Klutz. Had that been thrown out in front, Earlywine's probably taken it back the other way. The incompletion will bring up a third down and long 7 yards for Spring Hill, who was 0 for 3 on third downs of the ball game. Passing situation for Evan Letellier, who's 3 of 7 through the air in the ball game. And they're going to run option reverse to Knowlton. He's able to turn the corner. Can he get to the sticks? He will, and it's a first down for Spring Hill. They went with a speed option look to the defensive left side and flipped it to Knowlton on the reverse back the other way. And Zach Knowlton continues to have a strong game for the Spring Hill offense as that run out to the 28-yard line picks up 10 yards to move the chains. He's carried 3 times for 36, and he's hauled in another pass for 32. Well, first down and 10, Spring Hill at the 28-yard line with 2:48 left in the half, down 2 touchdowns. After they were hit in the mouth in the opening 5 minutes of the game, it was 21-0 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds expired off the clock. They have answered strong since then and outscored them 7-0 and have the ball with 2:48 to go in the half, and another timeout is taken. This time it's used by Spring Hill. They take their first half timeout. But they have certainly settled into this ball game. The question will become, was it too little too late, though? Did they wait too long? Did they spot Paola too big of a lead before they settled into this ball game? At 21-0, it looked to be a runaway type night for Paola, who's done that with everybody they've faced. They've been up by 40-plus points on all 3 opponents. And this one was headed that way, it appeared, within the first 5 minutes. But good job And kudos to the players and the staff for Spring Hill of answering the call, not getting too discouraged, and saying, hey, we've got plenty of time to get back at this ball game. They're certainly back into it, and they can grab a hold of all kinds of momentum if they're able to go down and get some points on this drive, especially with them set to receive the second half kickoff. That won't help, though. Clayton Essex, first team all-league defensive end from last year, wraps up Letellier back at the 21-yard line and sacks him for a loss of 7 yards. They've got 2 first-team all-leaguers on this defensive line. Essex is one of them who just made the sack, and the other one is the defensive tackle, Javier Castillo. And they've also got a first-team all-leaguer at linebacker at Evan Puser. So this is a very good defensive team. And it's 2nd and 17. Spring Hill's going to have to earn their yardage now. It's Barker out of the slot, gets the handoff, but won't find any room as it's Essex. Back-to-back plays. Clayton Essex makes disruptive tackles in the backfield. A sack and now a tackle for a loss. Take it now back to the 17-yard line. 4 more yards going the wrong way, and they've lost 11 of the last 2 snaps of the football. 3rd down and 21 coming up from the 17-yard line with a minute and a half left to go in the second quarter. Spread it out for Letellier on 3rd and 21, but they just go conservative to Barker. Can't blame him for that. Barker gets to the 20 for 3. And a timeout is used by Paola, a defensive timeout used to stop the clock with 1:16 left of the half. That's the final timeout of the half for Paola. But they want a chance to get the ball back into the hands of their offense with a minute 16 and up 2 scores. And on 4th down and what will be 18 yards to go, there's no threat of if you stop the clock, you might give Spring Hill a chance to, talk about pulling some trick out of the bag or something like that. That's not a scenario that will come to pass here in this case, because no chance you'll do anything funny with 4th and 18 from your own 20. Garrett Williams will head back as the deep man to receive this punt. I mentioned Evan Puser, that first-team all-league linebacker. He's down on the medical table getting his left elbow wrapped right now on the Paola sideline. So Logan Greenhall to punt. Had a good punt last time, but Williams put a pretty nice return on it as well. They've also blocked a punt, Paola, in this game. They bring some pressure this time, but Greenhall gets it away. Williams fields and then muffs at the 34. Able to pick it up, gets around Dominic, and he dives across midfield. And it will be good field position for Paola. They've got 64 ticks to go in the half, and they'll need to go 47 yards for the end zone. Well, they're going to move it back to the 48-yard line is finally where they'll put it down. They've got a good kicker, but they are going into the wind. Ryan Wokach, the first-team all-league kicker last year in the Frontier League. He's a 1 for 2 on extra points, though, in this game. So 1st down and 10 from the Spring Hill 48-yard line. Puser is back into the game. Tight end lined up attached on the right side. Williams under center on a 1st and 10. 1:04 left in the half. Phillips, down to the 40-yard line. Stovall, along with Dickey, make the tackle. 8-yard run for Fletcher Audi. 2nd down and 2. They'll be going quickly as the clock is down to 45 seconds and counting. Back to Audi they go. And Fletcher Audi down to the 32. Clock will stop momentarily while the chains move after the 16-yard, or rather the 10-yard run by Audi. Chains are set. Clock winds. And Williams snaps it. Takes a deep shot down the right sideline. Phillips makes the catch, and he's out of bounds inside the 10 in front of Cody Powell. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It's a 28-yard completion to Evan Phillips. And now, with 31 seconds left in the half, clock stopped as he went out of bounds. They don't have any timeouts, but they're close enough now where the run is still very much an option in the playbook for Paola. From the 4-yard line, first down and goal. It's Connor Haas reaching for the goal line. They'll mark him short, though. Inside the 1-yard line, clock running. 3-yard run there for Haas. Trying to get quick to the line of scrimmage. Clock down to 18 seconds. Williams on the snap, dives forward on the quarterback sneak, and it's a 1-yard touchdown run for Garrett Williams with 13 seconds left in the half. Well, that was about as good as you could do in a 1-minute situation for the Paola offense with no timeouts. They stayed true to who they were with the ground game, but when you can move the chains with that rushing attack, it helps stop the clock momentarily. And then the big pass play as well, the 28-yarder down the sideline, allowing Phillips to get out of bounds. That was a big key as well as they cap off the drive for 6. And now Ryan Wolcutch on the extra point kick makes it 7 points on the drive and a 28-7 lead for Paola with 13 seconds to go in the half. We're going to go ahead and just leave it right here with only 13 seconds left in the half. We'll be headed to the halftime show coming up momentarily. Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance halftime show is coming up where we'll take a look at all of the first half stats of this one, revisit those keys to the game for you as well, see if we can check if there's any other scores going on. As it's an early kick for us, there was some early kicks for others as well, so we'll see if anything else has come down the wire yet in this early Friday night action. But it's back to a 21-point lead for the Paola Panthers as they are able to do what Spring Hill was hoping to do, is get that late score here in the half with the Broncos set to take over the football to start the second half. Unfortunately, they went backwards on back-to-back plays, which really put an end to their drive. And then a short field, only had to go 48 yards, a couple of big chunks. 28 through the air to Evan Phillips, set up Garrett Williams for a 1-yard touchdown run, the quarterback's 6th rushing touchdown of the year. Wolcutch to kick into the wind. Shear and Knowlton, the deep men for Spring Hill. And the ball is blown off of the tee before Wolcutch could kick it away. He'll try it again, and here's the kick with 13 seconds left in the half. They go with a semi-onside kick down the sideline, and it goes out of bounds, which will set up Spring Hill with a football at the 35-yard line. Officials discussing, although not a whole lot to discuss. Perhaps they were discussing whether one of the Spring Hill guys touched it. Two of the Spring Hill guys of the return team were standing right there beside the football, but it didn't look to me like either of them touched the football. Of course, if they would have, then that would have negated the penalty for the kickoff going out of bounds. So it should be Spring Hill football at the 35-yard line. I'm not sure why this is taking so long to figure out with the officials. It was a pretty straightforward play, if you ask me. Well, still, the Paola coaching staff, you can't quite see them in the frame there. They're down here arguing something with, I think they're going to call 2 flags here. I think they're going to call the kickoff out of bounds, and I think they're also going to flag them 15 yards for a sideline infraction again. They were warned earlier. About sideline interference, and I believe that's what happened. So you had the kickoff out of bounds. So my apologies to the officials. I said I wasn't sure what was taking them so long to figure this one out because I thought it was just a kickoff out of bounds. That's what the extra conversation was about, is they were also then tacking on a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty for a second sideline interference call. So now with 13 seconds left, Spring Hill's got it at midfield. they've got 2 timeouts, and they've got a really good kicker. All of a sudden, it gets a little interesting. Barker on the ground, burst through the middle, and Zayd Barker is still on his feet to the 30 with 7 seconds left. They'll take a timeout. That's huge. 20 yards on first down for Zayd Barker, and now you are inside field goal range for Bear Gardner. And with only 7 seconds, you could perhaps try and set up a hash mark maybe for Gardner at this point. You can't really run any type of a play to the end zone. There's not time to take a shot at the end zone or anything. At this point, you do have one more timeout if you're Spring Hill. So at this point, you're asking Bear Gardner, where do you like the football? Do you want it in the middle? Do you want it on the right hash? Do you want it on the left hash? Because you do have time with that timeout to be able to slide the football, especially the left hash, as they're not quite in between the marks. You can see there, they're left of center of the hash mark. If he wanted it all the way out on the hash left side, though, you certainly could get there. Might be tough to get all the way to the right, but you could move it further right for him if you needed to. Of course, you don't want to lose yardage either. You're looking at a 47-yard field goal try from here. The offense does come back onto the field. 6.9 seconds left in the half. 1 timeout remains. I just don't think you have time to take a shot to the end zone unless you don't want to attempt a field goal. If you don't feel like you're in range for Gardner, which they said they'll trust him up to 50 or more, and right now you're looking at about 47. You've got some wind help at your back as well, so if there was ever a time to try a long field goal, this would be the spot. But if perhaps they aren't thinking field goal, then clearly you take a shot to the end zone here. But we'll see what they decide. Letellier from the shotgun. He's going to throw. And Evan takes a shot down the slot, and it is incomplete with 1.6. So they take the shot, and they still have time to bring the kicker out. Good job by Letellier, and that may have been discussed as well by him, is, hey, we want to take a shot to the end zone, but it's got to be 3 steps. You hit the back foot, and you release. We don't have time to run around, scramble, do anything like that, although there isn't any motion to bring Bear Gardner out here either. So and it looks like they're going to go ahead and take one more shot to the end zone. Down 3 touchdowns. I mean, I certainly see trying to get into the end zone when you're 30 yards out. You got a good kicker over there in Gardner, but they're going to take one more shot here to the end zone and perhaps try to draw them off sides and gain an extra 5 that way. That could be part of the game plan. You got a timeout if you need to burn it. Nope, they're going to snap it. Letellier, he'll throw for Knowlton over his head, incomplete, and that will end the first half. So got more interesting in that final 13 seconds than I expected it to, but in the end, nothing comes of it, and it's 28-7 Paola on top of the Spring Hill Broncos at the half. Stay with us. Coming up is the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance halftime show on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to cool crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Open, flexible, and dedicated to our clients with impeccable customer support. That's why you choose Tri-Century Bank. Have your bank right in your hands with mobile banking, and manage your money from the comfort of your home with convenient online banking. Tri-Century is ideal for your business with competitive rates on loans and credit cards to help meet your goals. For 125 years, Tri-Century Bank has been serving Spring Hill. To learn more, join them for one of their monthly coffees. See upcoming events at tricentury.bank.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome into the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance halftime show on Spring Hill Sports Live. 28-7, the number 3 ranked Paola Panthers with the 21-point lead on the 2-1 Spring Hill Broncos here at halftime. Time for your Eye on the Game as we recap the first half. The Eye on the Game is brought to you by White Cell Optometry and Vision Source. Keep an eye on your child's screen time. If they're experiencing eye strain or headaches, it might be a good idea or a good time for an exam. Make an appointment with White Cell Optometry Vision Source by calling 913-592-2020. And be sure to ask about the 2020 rule. Well, this game started quick for Paola. They got the opening possession, went 65 yards in a minute and 58 seconds, and a 4-yard touchdown run by Fletcher Audi made it 7-0 after the Ryan Wokutch extra point. Then Spring Hill's first possession, a 3-and-out and a blocked punt set up Paola with a very short field. They needed just one play, a Connor Haas 28-yard touchdown run, and it was quickly a 2-score game. They missed the extra point, but it was 13-0 Paola. Another 3-and-out on the second drive of the game for the Spring Hill offense, and Paola once again struck quickly as they got into the end zone just a couple of plays later. Connor Haas went 45 yards for a touchdown. The 2-point conversion pass was successful to get the extra point back that they missed the touchdown previous, and less than 5 minutes into the game, it was 21-0 Paola. It looked like the route was on perhaps, but then Spring Hill able to settle in. The Broncos on their third possession of the game finally able to put something together. They were able to move the ball, got a couple of big plays to Zach Knowlton, and in the end, Zayd Barker capped off the 80-yard drive with a 3-yard touchdown run to put Spring Hill on the board. The Bear Gardner extra point made it 21-7, and that was the score at the end of the first quarter. And then, believe it or not, after all of that offense in the first quarter, we only had one second quarter score, and that came all the way with 13 seconds left in the second quarter as things really settled in for Spring Hill. The defense twice made stops in the red zone. They turned Paola over on downs twice inside the 20-yard line. Unfortunately, though, because of turning them over on downs back inside the red zone, it meant a lot of short fields, or rather, a lot of long fields for Spring Hill, and they couldn't ever get the offense to move the ball far enough to give them a chance to score. And then eventually, after having a punt again from deep in their own territory late in the first half, Paola got the ball back on the 48-yard line of Spring Hill with just over a minute, 1:04 left in the half. And they went on the ground the first two plays, picking up a first down, and then they hit a big pass through the air, 28-yard completion to Evan Phillips down to the 4-yard line. He was able to get out of bounds as well, which was a key because Paola did not have any timeouts remaining at the time. But because he was able to get out of bounds, it stopped the clock, allowed him to get up there and get things set. And they ran the ball on first down, were stopped short, but hurried up to the line. They didn't have obviously far to go, and you're set up at the 4-yard line to begin with, so they were able to get quickly to the line, and then Garrett Williams punched it in on a quarterback sneak from 1 yard out to make it 28-7 Paola, and that's where we are at here at the half. So a 21-point lead for the number 3 Paola Panthers. We'll continue on the Leah Smith Agency halftime show right after this with your first half stats and more coming up here in Paola, where it's Panthers 28, Spring Hill Broncos 7 on Spring Hill Sports Live.
White Cell Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. White Cell Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Whitesell and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call White Cell Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020.
What if grass wasn't just for mowing? What if all the games weren't on TV? What if you saw the grandkids on more than just holidays? What if you got out of the house more often, maybe for good? Cedar Lake Village Senior Living. Life is how you live, not just where. To learn more, call 888-508-2022.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back to the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance halftime show in Paola tonight, 28-7. The Paola Panthers lead the Spring Hill Broncos. Halftime show brought to you by Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance, where Leah has over 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri. To learn more, call 913-221-0755. Just up the street at 159th and Merlin, Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. 21-point Paola lead here at the half in what is the first of 4 consecutive weeks against ranked opponents for Spring Hill, and 3 of those 4 on the road. So certainly a tough stretch in the schedule here for Spring Hill, and this one they are down for the second straight week by a score of 28-7 at halftime. Looking at the first half numbers, Paola, as we expected, able to successfully pound the ball on the ground. 260 first half rushing yards for the Panthers, averaging 8.1 yards per carry as a team. They've thrown for 55 yards, so a 315-yard first half of offense for Paola with 28 points on the board. No turnovers. They did turn it over twice on downs. For Spring Hill, just 124 yards in this one, 78 on the ground and 46 through the air. But that's 78 rushing yards. I mean, that's not anything to just shake your head about. I mean, that's currently would be a season high surrendered by this Paola defense. So they've had some success. This is just a very good Paola defense. It's not like you're going to come up here and put 300 plus yards on this team. Now they're going to have to probably if they're going to come back and win this ball game. They can't get back in this without rounding up some big time yardage or the defense coming up with some big plays to give them really short fields, as they're going to be chasing 21 points in this second half. But 78 yards on the ground, that would be already a season high surrendered by Paola. They've thrown for 46, Spring Hill as well. So 124 yards of total offense in the first half. They've also taken care of the football without a turnover in the half. And let's look at some of the individual numbers now in this first half. We'll start with Paola. Garrett Williams, the quarterback, 2 out of 3 through the air for 55 yards. On the ground, just 18 carries, or rather 18 yards on 7 carries. He does have the 1 touchdown, though. He was able to get that quarterback sneak in there with 13 seconds left in the half. Leading rusher for Paola has been Connor Haas, 12 carries, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's averaging 11.5 yards per carry. Evan Phillips has carried 7 times for 71 yards. And Fletcher Audi, 33 yards on 6 carries. He also has a touchdown. Both of the completions for Williams have gone to Phillips as well for 55 yards. So that's 126 total yards of offense for Phillips in this game with his rushing and receiving. For Spring Hill, Evan Letillier, 3 out of 9 through the air. He's thrown for 46 yards. He's rushed twice for a total of -7 yards on the ground. Zaid Barker on 13 carries has 49 rushing yards. And Zach Knowlton on 3 carries has 36 yards on the ground. Through the air, 3 different guys have been on the receiving end of those 3 Letillier completions. The longest went to Knowlton for 32. Gage Klutz has 1 grab for 16. And Zaid Barker, his 1 reception in the first half went for a 2-yard loss. Those are your first half numbers here, as it is Paola 28 and Spring Hill 7 on the one number that matters most, the score column right now. So 28-7, Paola on top of Spring Hill at the half. You're watching the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance halftime show. More to come right after this on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Open, flexible, and dedicated to our clients with impeccable customer support. That's why you choose Tri-Century Bank. Have your bank right in your hands with mobile banking and manage your money from the comfort of your home with convenient online banking. Tri-Century is ideal for your business with competitive rates on loans and credit cards to help meet your goals. For 125 years, Tri-Century Bank has been serving Spring Hill. To learn more, join them for one of their monthly coffees. See upcoming events at tricentury.bank.
Your home for Bronco Athletics is Spring Hill Sports Live. Our coverage of Bronco volleyball continues Saturday as we bring you action from the Spring Hill tournament. Catch every second of Bronco volleyball Saturday right here on your home for Bronco Athletics, Spring Hill Sports Live.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Halftime in Paola, the Leah Smith Agency halftime show continues here on Spring Hill Sports Live. That volleyball tournament, that actually coming up October 5th. The Spring Hill volleyball tournament, that is a week from tomorrow, a week from Saturday, for your number 2 ranked Class 5A volleyball team, the 17-0 Spring Hill girls. They are having a tremendous season to this point, and really looking forward to that coming up on October 5th. We had the triangular with Bonner Springs and who was Blue Valley Southwest about a week or 10 days or so ago, and that was a lot of fun there. They played some good volleyball in that one and had to come back and win one of those matches, but a very, very good-looking team. They are playing some good volleyball, so if you haven't had a chance to check out the Spring Hill High School volleyball team, certainly would recommend doing that. And also, if you can't make it, you can watch them right here on Spring Hill Sports Live coming up a week from tomorrow. So 28-7, our halftime score here. It's Paola on top of Spring Hill. Looking at some other scores from across the area, there's been multiple early kicks today with the threat of bad weather moving in later on. DeSoto, they are rolling Lansing as expected. 49-7, DeSoto leads Lansing in the third quarter of that ball game. Second quarter score in a Frontier League game in Eudora. Both Eudora and Baldwin 0-3 to start the year. They are playing tonight, and Baldwin with a 12-7 lead over Eudora in the second quarter. That's not yet to halftime, but a 12-7 Baldwin lead there. Lewisburg, second quarter score. Last update I've got you for that one. They are up 6-0 on Piper. Piper Pirates currently ranked number 9 in the 4A polls at 3-0. Lewisburg got their first win of the season last week, and they are on top at last check, 6-0 in the first half. Second quarter score there of that ball game. So that's all we've got for you at this point anyway from those Frontier League scores, and also keep an eye on that DeSoto score, as that will be the opponent next week for Spring Hill. They'll be back home for senior night, hosting undefeated DeSoto. 7 o'clock kick next Friday night, back home in Spring Hill. 28-7 our score here. We're set almost for the second half. We'll do that when we come back. Thanks for watching the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance halftime show. Second half kick is coming your way next here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to cool crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back live to Panthers Stadium in Paola. We are headed to the second half of this ball game. It's Paola 28, Spring Hill 7. Along with Caden Carbajo, I'm Bryce Kessler. I want to also take a moment to remind you that tickets are on sale now for the 2019 Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce Awards Dinner, scheduled for Tuesday, November 12th. Get tickets at springhillks.org. And while you're there, also check out the information on Leadership Spring Hill, a comprehensive leadership and civic development program starting January 2020. They are now accepting applications. We head to the second half with the Broncos set to get the football to start this second half of action. Spring Hill, as per the usual against this Paola defense, had a tough time getting a lot of chunk plays off of this team, but they ripped off 2 plays of the 20-plus variety, those explosive plays we talked about in the pregame show, but they also surrendered 5 of those explosive plays. That's now 24 given up by the defense in now 3.5 games this year. But they got much better in the second quarter. Of those 5, 3 of them came in the first 3 possessions for Paola, and then things settled down a bit, and from the 7-minute mark of the first quarter on, it was a 7-7 ball game. Kickoff from Wokach will go into the end zone for a touchback as we're underway second half in Paola. 28-7 Panthers lead on the visiting Spring Hill Broncos. Evan Letillier brings the offense back out there with Barker, Knowlton, Mitchell, Crotchett, and Klutz. Those are the backs and receivers for the Broncos. And on that line, we saw Wyatt George come out of the game in the first half at one point, and he was replaced by Fleming for a bit, but it's George who's back on the field as well. He came back, it looked like, in the first half as well, but he's out there to start again the second half along with Dominic Gardner, Watkins, and Thompson. So 1st and 10 at the 20. First play of the second half goes to Barker up the middle. Jake Carr grabs him and wraps him up from behind, but not before a 5-yard run on first down for Barker. 54 yards on the ground for Barker so far as he is eking up there closer to the top rusher this year against the Paola defense. As a team, Spring Hill over 80 yards on the ground now, which is a season high allowed by the Paola defense. Got to stay ahead of the chains, though, as they did on that first down carry of 5. They are 0 for 4 in the game in third down, so they don't want to have to face many of those if they could avoid it on a 2nd and 5. If you're going to have it, you want it to be short anyway, and Barker's going to make sure of that and maybe get to the first down. He lunges across the 30, and he's got the first down at the 31-yard line with a 6-yard run before Evan Puser makes the tackle. Good 4-yard per carry average for Barker on a defense that is only surrendering 18 rushing yards total per game through 3 weeks. Barker up to 60 yards on 15 carries. First down and 10 at the 31. Opening possession of the second half for Spring Hill, who trails 28-7. Barker on a third straight carry to start the half. Couple more before Castillo and Essex make the tackle at the 33-yard line. They'll mark it for 2 yards. It took Spring Hill 3 possessions before they scored in the first half. It took them that long as well before they even had a first down. So they've come out here. Good start to this second half. 3 carries by Barker. See if they go to him on a 4th straight play. Letillier wants to throw this time. Quick hookup with Cameron Crotchet and a first down out to the 42-yard line. 10 yards on the completion to Crotchet, who playing last week for really the first time in the year after that injury to Myers forced Letillier to go to under center or behind center, more properly, I guess, with this offense. And then Crotchet came in, did catch one pass last week for 14 yards. And he makes the catch there for 10 and another Spring Hill first down at the 42-yard line. Good start to the second half here for the Broncos. Bunch it together now on a 1st and 10 at the 42. Knowlton, the motion man, gets it on the jet sweep. Good blocking out in front, but better pursuit by the defense. And they'll string it out for maybe a half yard. Essex on the tackle. No gain at the 4, actually 1. They'll give him 1 to the 43, so a second down and 9 coming up for Spring Hill. On the opening drive of the second half, the Broncos are nearly 3 minutes into this drive. Down 3 scores, but with a whole half to play, certainly don't have to get in too much of a hurry at this point. But you've got to be able to capitalize with points on the end of these long drives if you're going to be able to have enough of them. Here's Barker, got tripped up right at the line of scrimmage by Carr and Essex, who have both been very active defensively on this drive, especially Essex. He's been a monster in this ball game for Paola. That's a 1-yard, 2-yard run to the 45. 3rd down and 7. 0 for 4 so far in the game on 3rd down. Letillier for the Pistols, got 3 wideouts right. Looking that way. Now under some pressure, he'll chuck it and try to run, but will only be able to get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe even lost a half a yard on the run. So 4th down coming up for Spring Hill with 8:07 to go in the third quarter. Jake Carr on the stop and Mikey Stribling. So Paola expecting punt. Garrett Williams is back at the 20-yard line. Logan Greenhall is onto the field, the Spring Hill punter. The territory of the field where fake punt perhaps could come into the equation. Down 21 here, but I don't necessarily get the feeling that's going to happen, and it won't, as Greenhall gets the kick away. Lands at the 25, takes a nice big Spring Hill bounce and rolls all the way down to just outside of the 10-yard line where Cody Powell scoops it up. So there we go. Field position anyway is won early on in the second half by Spring Hill by getting enough on that drive. And then a 46-yard punt by Greenhall. Pins it back at the 10-yard, the 11-yard line is where they'll mark it. Paola's offense came firing out of the gates of this game with 3 touchdowns and 3 drives. Just 1 touchdown over the final 19 minutes of the first half after they scored 3 in the first 5 minutes. Twice they turned it over on downs in the red zone. Williams will toss to Haas on first down. Shear and Roundzon make the tackle, but Haas was able to drag them both out to about the 22-yard line. And that's a 12-yard run and a first down for Connor Haas. The 150 yards now in this game for Haas is a new season high for the senior running back, second team All-Frontier back last year. He's scored a pair of touchdowns in this one to give him 6 on the season. From the 22, first down and 10. Fakes it to Audi, and Williams keeps it, spins away from Roundzon. Larson tosses him to the turf at the 30. 8-yard run for Williams. Second down and 2 coming up for Paola. Already almost to the midway point of this third quarter. It's back home next week for Spring Hill before back-to-back road games at Tongi and Piper. Next week, home game against DeSoto. Coming into this week, along with Paola and those 3 teams, it's 4 consecutive ranked opponents for Spring Hill. Williams to throw on second and 2. Just lobs this one up in the air for Lamont Hill, and it draws a penalty flag on Anthony Lakin. The Lakin in coverage, and Hill was able to draw him into him as he was just trying to catch that jump ball. And this one most certainly going to be pass interference against the Broncos' Anthony Lakin. So that'll take the football up to the 45-yard line and a first down for Paola. That's the first assessed penalty of the game against Spring Hill. They had an illegal motion penalty earlier in the game, but it was offset by an offsides against Paola at the same time. So after the penalty, first down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Opening drive of the second half for Paola with a 21-point lead. Right at the midway point here of the third quarter. It's Haas again. Aaron Dominic had Carson Downs had a hold of him, stood him up, and they'll stop his forward progress at about the 47.5-yard line. So a couple of yards for Audi. Second down, 8 yards to go. Williams fakes to Haas. Has Puser the tight end, but threw it low and behind him, incomplete. So a third down coming up for Paola. They'll need 8 yards on this upcoming third down. They're just 2 for 5 on third downs in the ball game. A running-oriented team. They've thrown it 5 times in the game. He's 2 out of 4. The 5th one was that pass interference that they drew. So we'll see if they go to the air on a third down and 8 or keep it on the ground with Haas, who's the deep back with 3 of them in the backfield. It is Haas who hurdles over the lineman who was chopped down, as Essex, who had Downs and Greenhall both chopped down on the turf, and Haas went over top of them across midfield to the Spring Hill 49-yard line for 3. I'll give them 4, but it's 4th down. And for the moment, it looks like the punting team has come out of the field for Paola. A 4th down and 4 is coming up. But now, Garrett Williams will come back in. So they had made a couple of substitutions. And Williams, also the punter, will line up in at least punt formation here on 4th down and 4 from the Spring Hill 49. Dom Shearer goes back deep for Spring Hill. And it's a good punt by Williams. Shear calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 5-yard line. Might have been better served to just let that one bounce and see if it'll go in the end zone, but fair catch is called for and made at the 5-yard line, and that will give Spring Hill a very long field to go if they're going to come away with points on the upcoming possession. 28-7 Paola, 4:37 left to play third quarter, as a possession each. Here in this second half, they've both driven the ball up near midfield. For Paola, it was just across midfield before stalling out and being forced to punt. Spring Hill's offense takes over at the 5-yard line. Letellier with his heels right on the goal line. Barker a couple of yards deep in the end zone on the snap. And it's Barker on the carry, but nothing there. Initial stop for the Paola defense made by Mason Talcott. Maybe a half yard for Barker on the carry. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Broncos spread it back out here on 2nd and 10 at the 5-yard line. Letillier trying to throw quick out to Daniel Mitchell, and it was nearly picked off by Evan Phillips. He saw that quick hitch coming and jumped underneath of it, and in fact, he was in better position to receive the pass than the intended target Mitchell, but it went through Phillips' hands and incomplete, thankfully for Spring Hill. Letillier now just 4 out of 11. He's connected on just 1 of his last 6 pass attempts. 3rd down and 10 from the 5-yard line. 3:53 left in the 3rd quarter. They tried Barker on 1st for nothing, then the incomplete pass. Now Corian Duff gets it on the jet sweep look, but Evan Puser has that one wrapped up for a no gain for Duff, and that will bring the punt team back out onto the field for Spring Hill as they're unable to do anything on 3 snaps of the football from the 5-yard line. They're still at the 5-yard line for 4th down and 10. Paola set to come away with great field position unless Greenhall can get away with another one of those 70-yard punts he had back in week 1. He hit one with just the right angle and the bounce that it was unable to be fielded, and then took a big Spring Hill bounce. This one, though, a end-over-end kick that takes a Paola bounce straight back towards the goal line and caught to be downed by Spring Hill at the 25-yard line, but that will set up the Panthers in prime field position. A 20-yard punt is all, and Garrett Williams and the Panther offense has a chance to strike gold early on this drive. They did that the last couple of times they've taken over in this field position. Last 2 times, which both were way back in the 1st quarter, that they started inside Spring Hill territory. It took them 1 and 2 plays respectively to capitalize. So from the 25 with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. 1st down and 10, Paola. Phillips the motion man. Wait till he crosses. A flag comes in at the snap. Garrett Williams bursts free for a touchdown, but let's hold it because I believe it's coming back. A penalty was thrown right at the snap by the near side line judge, and I think we're going to have another illegal motion here against Paola. We had one of those against Spring Hill earlier that was offset by an offside on the Paola defense. This one, though, will not be offset at all. It'll negate the touchdown run by Williams and push it back to the 30, where they'll have 1st down and 15. 3rd penalty for 30 yards against Paola in this game. It's been a very clean game, really. Just 4 accepted penalties so far. I guess 5. Technically, they had the kickoff out of bounds as well. 1st down and 10, or 15 rather, at the 30. Williams this time will call Connor Haas's number. He breaks through the tackle of Shear and takes it down near or maybe just inside of the 20 before Aaron Dominic made the tackle. They're going to put it at the 19-yard line for an 11-yard run by Connor Haas. And it's a 2nd down and 4 inside the red zone for the 4th time in this game. But just 1 for 3 scoring in the red zone in this ball game for Paola. Twice they've turned it over on downs. Williams keeps it after the fake to Audi. He takes it to the 16, maybe actually going to mark it about 17, so he'll be just short. They're going to need 2 more on a 3rd down. 3 yards for Williams there. Two out of 6 in the game on 3rd down. This is 3rd down and 2 from the 17-yard line. Haas the carry. Connor Haas breaks another tackle, and he is in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. 17-yard touchdown run. There's an injured Bronco on the play as well. The 34-7 lead now for Paola. And once again, a Bronco player is down, needing medical attention. We had an injury earlier to Hunter Williard. He was able to get up, jog off the field under his own power. I've not been able to catch a number of the Bronco that is currently hurt, but we will take a quick timeout and hopefully report some good news for you when we return. It's 34-7, Paola on top of Spring Hill. They'll have an extra point coming up when we return here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Weitzel Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Weitzel Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Weitzel and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call Weitzel Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020.
Elliott Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Insurance Group, we work, live, and shop in our local communities, serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years. Elliott Insurance Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Insurance Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
What if grass wasn't just for mowing? What if all the games weren't on TV? What if you saw the grandkids on more than just holidays? What if you got out of the house more often, maybe for good? Cedar Lake Village Senior Living. Life is how you live, not just where. To learn more, call 888-508-2022.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
What if grass wasn't just for mowing? What if all the games weren't on TV? What if you saw the grandkids on more than just holidays? What if you got out of the house more often, maybe for good? Cedar Lake Village Senior Living. Life is how you live, not just where. To learn more, call 888-508-2022.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back. Panthers Stadium in Paola, Kansas tonight. 34-7 Paola. They have an extra point pending following the latest touchdown still, but currently still providing some medical attention to one of the injured Spring Hill players, and have not been able to see a number with all the medical attention around the players. So I can't report any number at this point to you, but they're still giving some medical attention down there to the young man. So some positive thoughts hopefully sent his way from his teammates and the opposing sideline as well right now, as hope for the best here, and hopefully that everything's just precautionary at this point. All of the precautionary things that you never want to take any chances, obviously, when it comes to injuries, and let's hope that that's ultimately what it is, just precautionary stuff at this point. So hate to see any kind of injuries, any ball game, any sport, any time. 34-7 our score here. Paola with the lead on top of Spring Hill. We're going to step aside a moment again, and we'll be back in a moment. You're watching Spring Hill High School football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Open, flexible, and dedicated to our clients with impeccable customer support. That's why you choose Tri-Century Bank. Have your bank right in your hands with mobile banking and manage your money from the comfort of your home with convenient online banking. Tri-Century is ideal for your business with competitive rates on loans and credit cards to help meet your goals. For 125 years, Tri-Century Bank has been serving Spring Hill. To learn more, join them for one of their monthly coffees. See upcoming events at tricentury.bank.
Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to Cool Crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net. Whitesell Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Whitesell Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Whitesell and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call Whitesell Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020.
Elliott Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Insurance Group, we work, live, and shop in our local communities, serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years. Elliott Insurance Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Insurance Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back to Panther Stadium in Paola, Kansas. Here on this Friday evening, earlier than normal kickoff here between Paola and Spring Hill with the threat of some severe weather coming in later on tonight. And things have come to a stop in a terrible way that we don't like, and that's injuries. And one of the Spring Hill players, it is Brady Larson, the junior safety, the injured Spring Hill Bronco, who is continuing to receive some medical attention on the field on the tail end of what was a 17-yard touchdown run by Connor Haas for Paola that made the score 34-7 here with 1:46 left in the third quarter. And right now, prayers for Brady Larson and his health as he's the injured Spring Hill Bronco. They continue to work with him, and let's hope that the medical staff able to do an excellent job with the young man who's been injured here in this third quarter of this ball game. So we continue to gladly wait on the side at this point and let them take all the time they need to help give the proper medical care to the injured Spring Hill Bronco Brady Larson. 1:46 left in this third quarter with Paola up 34-7. And we will step aside momentarily here again. And when we come back, we're getting close, I think, to being able to resume this football game as they have got Larson up off the field at this point, but still taking their time, making sure that all the proper medical care is given. So we'll be back here in a moment. You're watching Spring Hill High School football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Elliott Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Insurance Group, we work, live, and shop in our local communities, serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years. Elliott Insurance Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Insurance Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back again, Panther Stadium in Paola, Kansas. And Brady Larson, the injured Bronco for the Spring Hill defense, being stretchered off of the field, did give a high thumbs up to the crowd as he was being wheeled off of the field. So you like to see that part at least. You hate to see a young man have to leave the field in that form. But he was able to lift that right arm up and give a big thumbs up to the crowd that gave him a big round of applause. And kudos to the medical staff, quick to respond out there as well. And let's continue those thoughts and prayers for Brady Larson as we now have to turn back to the football game. And it's Ryan Wilkutch on for the extra point, and that kick is good to cap off the 17-yard touchdown run by Haas. And that makes the score 35-7 in favor of Paola, with a minute 46 left to play in quarter number 3. So always tough after you see one of your guys go down to get back out on that field, and especially down 28 points. Let's see what kind of an answer that the Spring Hill Broncos have following that turn of events. Dom Shear and Corian Duff are the deep men awaiting the upcoming kickoff from Ryan Wilkutch of Paola. 35-7 Panthers. Connor Haas, that latest touchdown, his third of this game. He's got 182 yards on the ground. He has had another big night, third 100-yard rushing game this season for Paola's I-back Connor Haas, or tailback anyway. When they've run out of an eye, that's been very effective with Audi leading the way for him. That's probably been their best look so far in this one. Kickoff on the way from Wilkutch, and Dom Shear will have a chance to return this one from the 1-yard line. On the return, Dom is tripped up at the 25-yard line. Getting a hand in there to take him off his feet was Noah Bowden. So 1:41 left third quarter, and here comes the Spring Hill offense. Their one touchdown came on their third drive of the game, back late first quarter. They went 80 yards, capped off by a 3-yard touchdown run by Zaid Barker, his 8th of the season. And now trailing 35-7. Offense is back to work at the 25-yard line. 4 wideouts for Letillier, and it's Barker again, who's been busy once more tonight. And Zaid stood up at the 31-yard line, 6-yard run on first down. As Barker has now carried 19 times for 70 yards in this ball game and a touchdown. So far in his 4 games this year, he's carried 16 times, 22, 18, and now he's up to 19. So he continues to be a workhorse in that backfield. The 5'8", 170-pound senior tailback who came in with 369 yards and 7 touchdowns. He's added another 70 and another score in this one. 2nd down and 4. It's Barker again. Not a lot there that time as Zaid takes it to the 34-yard line. Another couple of yards for him. It'll be 3rd down and 2 from the 34-yard line. There's about a 15-second difference between the play clock and the game clock, so it'll take at least one more snap here in the 3rd quarter for Spring Hill. 3rd down and 2. 0 for 5 in the game on 3rd downs. And there's some motion. It looked, though, like Aaron Dominic, the left tackle, may have moved also for Spring Hill. There was certainly motion by the defensive line, but the false start is called on the left tackle for Spring Hill, Aaron Dominic, and that will make it 3rd down and 7. Just the 2nd penalty against the Broncos in this game, but a costly one here, and takes a 3rd and 2 and turns it into a 3rd and 7. And now, with the reset of the play clock, there's only about a 1-second difference, but they'll still have to take one more snap before the quarter will end. But this will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Letellier on a design rollout, flips it underneath to Knowlton. And Zach Knowlton out to the 31 or 2-yard line. Stop made then quickly by Jackson Earlywine, and that will end the 3rd quarter. 35-7, Paola on top of Spring Hill as we go to the 4th, and it's a 4th down coming up for the Broncos on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Elliott Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Insurance Group, we work, live, and shop in our local communities, serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years. Elliott Insurance Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Insurance Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Your home for Bronco Athletics is Spring Hill Sports Live. The Broncos return home for a non-conference matchup Friday night as they welcome in the DeSoto Wildcats. Our pregame coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7. It's the Broncos and Wildcats right here on your home for Bronco Athletics, Spring Hill Sports Live.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Start of the 4th quarter, 35-7, Paola, a lead on top of the Spring Hill Broncos. And Spring Hill punting on a 4th down and 5 to start the quarter. Logan Greenhall kicks it back to Garrett Williams, who will step out of bounds at the 37-yard line. There is a flag thrown back at the backfield, and it is a personal foul against Paola. That's the initial signal from the head official anyway. There might be a second penalty flag thrown, though, also. I believe there are 2 flags down, so let's see as the officials discuss it. Now the head official talking with the Spring Hill sideline about what it looks like what they want to do penalty-wise here. If it's either way, even if it's he signaled personal foul. He didn't signal personal foul roughing the kicker necessarily, but that would be what one would assume was the call. Didn't look like Greenhall got hit though, so that's why I don't. So here's the call, and it is personal foul roughing the kicker. Also a sideline interference again against Paola, so that'll be a 30-yard penalty, really. I mean, well, 2 15-yard penalties, but because the personal foul and the sideline interaction are as a dead ball, both are assessed, so that is That's costly there. That's 30 yards worth of penalty yardage on a 4th down at 5. That'll take the ball all the way to the Paola 30 so yard line here, and should be around the 40-ish though. And they haven't quite got the spot figured out yet, but either way, it's going to be first down for Spring Hill. Well, they were at the 32-yard line. So that should take it down about the 34-yard line unless they don't enforce both. Maybe they aren't going to enforce both penalties. It looked initially, the officials where they had moved to, they were going to enforce both of them, but so the line of scrimmage was the 31-yard line. So you at least got it to the 46. One of the 15-yarders is going to take it to the 46, and then they're still trying to sort this one out. Now here comes the football, but and here we go. Here goes the long march for the official. So he's past the 46, which means they are going to put on both. That's, well, but then they put it at the 49, which that would be about 20 yards of enforced penalties. So I'm not exactly sure, I guess, but either way. So they mark off 20 yards of penalty yardage. Regardless of how they came to that number, it's 1st and 10 for Spring Hill on the Paola 49-yard line. And it's Zayd Barker on the carry as he is out of bounds around the 45. We'll see where they officially mark him out. They're going to say he stepped out of the 46-yard line, so 3 yards there for Barker. And it brings up 2nd down and 7 for Spring Hill. Letellier again gives to Barker. Nowhere to go that time. Defensive front of Paola stuffed him at the line. He was met by Demarius Bassett, a 5'9", 210-pound junior defensive tackle who stood Barker up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's 3rd down and 7 yards to go for this Spring Hill offense, which is 0 for 6 on 3rd down conversion attempts in the ballgame. Coming into this game, they were converting just 33%. And now in 0 for 6, they are 8 for 30 on the year. And this one won't be easy as they face a 3rd down. They gave him 1 actually on that last carry, so that makes it 3rd down and 6. And before the snap, a timeout taken by the Broncos. 10:49 left to play in the 4th quarter. And a 3rd down and 6 coming up with the Broncos on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
10:49 to play here in the 4th quarter from Panthers Stadium in Paola. 35-7. The undefeated 3-0 number 3 ranked Paola Panthers with the lead here on the 2-1 Spring Hill Broncos. Kind of that 2-0 start did the Broncos, and then lost last week at home to Bonner Springs to open up what's now going to be a tough 4-week stretch of 4 consecutive ranked opponents with 3 of the 4 on the road. This one included. 3rd down and 6. Letellier with a slant for Crotchet, threw it too high, incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down for Spring Hill. And the Broncos are going to bring the punt team on, it looks like, for a 4th down and 6 at the Paola 45, down 35-7 with 10:44 to play. You look at the offensive numbers in this game. Paola has racked up 372 yards to Spring Hill's 163. And all in all, it's really the 21-point hole that Spring Hill spotted right out of the gates. I mean, this was 21-0 5 minutes into the game. Since then, it's been a 14-0 edge, or rather a 14-7 edge. And there's a fake punt. Greenhall on the option pitch from Barker is driven down by Garrett Williams back at the Spring Hill 47-yard line. They lose 8 yards on a fake punt attempt. And we'll give it over on downs back to Paola in Spring Hill territory. Well, that fourth down attempt by the Broncos, just their fourth down attempt this year. They are now 0 for 4 going for it on fourth downs. This one sets up Paola with another short field and a 35-7 lead for the Panthers. Williams back under center. Audi and Haas right behind him, and it's Audi who burst through the hole. Tackle made at the 37-yard line by Gunnar Kroll. Kroll is in the game replacing Brady Larson, who was injured earlier in the half, late in the third quarter. That's a 9-yard run for Fletcher Audi. So now second down and a yard. Williams, quarterback sneak, has the first down. Wyatt Dickey and Cody Powell make the tackle, but it's a 2-yard run for Garrett Williams down at the 36-yard line. That'll move the chains. Clock will wind underneath, 10 minutes to go. And a 1st and 10, Paola. Their season low for points this year is 48. So Spring Hill has kept him in check, more so anyway than any of the previous 3 opponents have. Granted, there are still 10 minutes to go, but 21 came in the first 5 minutes of the game. Here's a shot for the tight end, Puser, who's caught it for a touchdown, but there is a penalty flag thrown by the umpire, which a lot of times is a holding call, and that's exactly what it is. It's a hold against Paola. That'll wipe away a 36-yard touchdown strike. So take the points off the board and move them back 10. Actually, well, wait, they're going to say personal foul face mask against Paola. The initial signal from the umpire was a hold, but then after a discussion, they changed that hold to a personal foul face mask. So it must have been holding via the face mask, which if you're Spring Hill, you'd rather than call it the face mask as opposed to the hold, because then you gain an extra 5 yards. That'll move it all the way back across midfield, back to the Paola 49-yard line. 15-yard penalty. That's 75 yards on 6 penalties in this game. But Paola has been able to overcome them with a 35-7 lead. Clock stop, 9:39 to go as Garrett Williams looks to the sideline for the play call, and here comes a first down and 25 snap. Connor Haas finally wrestled out of bounds by Shear and Powell at the 41-yard line, 10-yard run. And Haas now knocking on the door of a 200-yard game. He's got 192 on the ground. If he gets that 8 yards, it'll be the second straight week that Spring Hill has surrendered a 200-yard rusher. Bryce Crone did it last week for Bonner Springs. That Braves offense piled up 317 yards on the ground. Paola has rushed for 338 in this one, which is still now 30 yards short of their per-game average on the season. But Haas will inch him closer to that number as he takes this one down to the 33-yard line. Wyatt Dickey makes the tackle. 7 more yards for Haas, puts him at 199 for the game, and it's a 3rd down and 8 coming up for the Paola offense. 2 out of 7 in the game. And really, when you go back and look, I mean, you've got 2 red zone stops by the defense of Spring Hill. They've held Paola to now 2 out of 8 on third downs as Haas is taken down at the 30-yard line by Jacob Stovall. So he got 3, but he's short of a first down. He does go over 200 yards for the game, but they're just now 2 of 8 on third down. They scored on only 2 of 4 trips into the red zone. All of those numbers are good numbers when you're talking about the Spring Hill defense, but unfortunately, they spotted them 21 quick points in the opening 4 minutes and 54 seconds of the game. And just, you're not going to overcome those points against this defense. Paola's just not going to surrender that kind of points back to you. 4th down and 4 at the 30, and going hard count, trying to get Spring Hill to jump off sides. Spring Hill holding still for the moment, and a timeout is taken just prior to the play clock expiring. So let's see if Paola continues to go for it out of the timeout. 4th and 4 at the 30. That's kind of no man's land where you gain nothing by punting and kicking what's not much of a wind left into this south end zone. But they might give Wokutch a chance. I don't know, up by 28. Doesn't look like it, though. There's not much movement on the sideline from their kicker, Wokutch. He's still just standing there with his arms tucked underneath the collar of his shoulder pads. The offense staying out in that huddle. So it's going to be the offense who's going to come back out to go for it on a 4th and 4. They have converted 1 of 3 4th down attempts in the ballgame. They got their very first one. They have failed on their last 2. And those were the 2 red zone stops. Not quite in the red zone here, but at the 30 on a 4th down and 4 with 8:43 remaining in the ball game. Paola leading 35-7. So under center goes Williams, and he'll turn and give to Connor Haas. He's blown up short of the first down markers. That was Jacob Stovall who came flying in to make the tackle, a 1-yard run for Haas. They fail on 4th down for the 3rd time of the game as they turn it over on downs back to Spring Hill with 8:37 to go. Let's see if the offense can get them a little feel-good drive here heading into next week's DeSoto game. Outcome of the game, down 28 with 8:37 to go, is probably out of reach at this point, but following the defensive stop, if the offense can put together a drive for some points, perhaps you at least start to gather some momentum back, positive momentum back towards next week when DeSoto comes knocking. Barker up the middle, a nice run on first down for Zaid Barker. Williams on the tackle at the 36-yard line. It's a 7-yard run. As Zaid now all of a sudden up to 83 yards in this game, perhaps a chance to get his 3rd 100-yard day. 17 yards shy of it. Just over 8 to play as Spring Hill gets to the line on a 2nd down and 3 at the 36-yard line. Barker again for the 24th time in the game gets his number called. He is stopped a yard short of a first down. 3 more yards on the carry for Zaid Barker to the 38-yard line. 3rd down and 1 coming up. And if they convert this one, it'll be their first 3rd down conversion of the game. 0 for 7 so far. And Crotchet goes out. Stovall and Dickey, the pair of middle linebackers on the defensive side, they both come in as Zaid Barker is going to take a direct snap this time with his 2 middle backers presumably leading the way, and they do off right tackle. Zaid Barker with a first down out to the 45-yard line. So their first 3rd down conversion of the game takes it to the 45 as Barker picks up 7 more. He's up to 93 for the ball game. Jackson Earlywine, the defender that made the stop for Paola right there. So it's 1st down and 10 from their own 45-yard line. 7 minutes left to play in the ball game. Down 35-7 is Spring Hill. On the move here in this 4th quarter drive. Knowlton out of the slot gets the quick toss from Letillier. And he is just short of a first down depending on where they spot this ball. The far line judge is at the 46. The near line judge is coming in right at the 40, right at the 45, which would be a first down. So the ball is spotted at the 45, but the yard marker on the far sideline, they had it at the 46-yard line. And, I don't know how that's not close enough to at least take a measurement on it, but they're going to say he's just short. So second down and inches, literally. Letellier again to throw. Fade down the right sideline, out of the reach of Crotchet, incomplete, brings up third down and inches. Well, here's Stovall and Dickey about to come back in. We'll see what they drop this time with the two lead blockers coming in, and Letellier came out of the game. So Zayd Barker is again set to take a direct snap, you'd think, coming up here. They need just inches. And now a official's timeout here. I think Spring Hill may be asking for a measurement. There was some confusion because the near line, and now they signal first down. So Spring Hill ran a second down and inches play, an incomplete pass, and then the officials, after some pleading by the Spring Hill sideline, come in and say, no, you're right, we were wrong the last play. We're going to give them a first down now. So that's a new one there. Never have you been able to throw an incomplete pass with no penalties and pick up a first down, but I thought they had the first down and completion to Knowlton. The near line judge had it marked at the 45. The far line judge was standing on the 46, and I think the head official, that's where the chains are, where the far line judge was, he was standing a yard short, and so the head official saw that and just assumed it was second down. But the problem becomes, so that last play they're going to call that last play the first down play for Spring Hill, so now it's second down and 10 from the 45-yard line. And this time they hand off to Knowlton on the jet sweep, but nowhere to go. A loss of a yard back to the 46. Clayton Essex and Jackson Earlywine on the tackle. So in the end, we're talking a 28-point game with under 6 to play. There's not, it's not worth the breath to get too cranky about it. But had this been a more competitive situation, you have to wonder, if you thought it was second inches, or maybe Spring Hill all along thought it was first down, and that's why they called that pass play. My thought is they called the pass play thinking, well, we'll come back third and inches if we don't get the pass play, and then retroactively they say, oh, well, that was your first down. And anyway, it got all confusing. But here comes Gage Klutz on the crossing route. Letellier hooks up with Klutz for the second time in the game, and he takes it down to the 23-yard line for a gain of 23, and it's a first down for Spring Hill on the move deep into Paola territory. It's all for naught now. It'll be first down and 10 at the 22-yard line. That's officially a 24-yard completion to Klutz. Clock winding down, near 5 minutes left. So this is a nice drive here for Spring Hill. Got some help with some penalties, but nevertheless. And before the snap, timeout taken by Spring Hill. The play clock was winding down, so the Broncos will spend a timeout with 4:58 to go in the ball game. Paola 35, Spring Hill 7 on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
35-7 Paola with 4:58 left of the ball game. Out of the timeout, Spring Hill with a first down and 10 from the 22-yard line. Corian Duff, the motion man, fakes the handoff, and now Letellier takes a shot to the end zone for Knowlton, but tosses it over his head, incomplete. Will bring up second down and 10. Letellier now 7 of 17 for 91 yards in the ball game. Zay Barker with a touchdown run back at the first quarter. Near the end of the first quarter was the lone points of the game so far for the Broncos. They were down 21-0 at the time. That made it 21-7. They got the ball back again, had a chance, in fact, two more chances, down 21-7 with the ball to get it to a one-score game. But as has been the case all year long, this Paola defense does not surrender much. They give up 2 yards there to Barker, who has carried it 26 times for 95 yards in this game and the one touchdown. Be nice to see him get another 5 yards and hit that century mark for the third game out of 4 this year. In fact, it'll be 3 straight for Barker after he was held to 76 yards in the opener against Lewisburg. But that game he had 2 touchdowns. Had 3 touchdowns week 2 and had 2 touchdowns last week. So he has been a big-time force on this offense for the Broncos. Third down and 8 from the 20. Letellier hit from behind and sacked by Evan Puser, the first-team All-League linebacker, comes in for the sack. They'll mark it back to the 28-yard line. So a loss of 8 yards on that sack by Puser, and it's 4th and long, and they're going to leave the offense on the field, it looks like. One out of 9 for third downs of the game. They've failed on their 1 fourth down conversion try. That was a fake punt. And now on a 4th down and 16, they throw deep for Knowlton again, but the coverage by Graydon Brenneman. And that will turn it over on downs back to Paola with 3:26 left to play. Just 1 touchdown in this second half so far. That was a 17-yard Connor Haas run at the 1:46 mark of the third quarter. And it has been scoreless since. It was scoreless prior throughout that entire throughout that entire third quarter. And now with 3:26 to go, the Paola offense comes back onto the field. A couple of new running backs coming in. Cade Johnson, Giovanni Blackie. And it looks like Bo Robeson, he was already in there as the wide receiver out here. The one wide receiver hasn't gotten any targets yet today. Blackie's the deep back on 1st down and 10. Williams still in at quarterback, gives it to Blackie, and he's going to pick up a yard or 2 to the 30. So 2nd down and 8 coming up. And right now, no hurry at all for Paola as the clock continues to run under 3 to go. They get to the line with 15 on the play clock. That's Brock Pitzer in there as well, who's lined up as the fullback here on a 2nd down and 8. Fumble. Ball was loose on the quarterback center exchange, but it looks like Paola got it back. Well, it's actually Stovall who came up out of there with the football. No signal yet, and it is going to be Bronco football. So Jacob Stovall with a fumble recovery. And that's the 8th fumble recovered this year by the Spring Hill defense. And their turnover margin has been exceptional this year. They're now a +7 turnover margin. That's their 8th takeaway to just 1 giveaway this season. And it gives the Broncos the football back with 2:33 to go in the ball game, down 35-7. So let's see if Barker can get those 5 yards he needs to top the century mark. 1st down and 10 at the 31. They'll go to Barker. And that is a tough 3 or 4 yards there for Zaid. Mark it at the 28-yard line for 3. So he's a couple of yards shy now of that 100-yard mark. 27 carries. That's a season high. And 98 yards for Barker. No, they're going to move it to the 27. So now at 99 yards for Barker, as that'll go as a 4-yard carry officially, and it's 2nd down and 6. 2 minutes left to play in the ball game. He's hit the 30-carry mark before in his career. Last year he did it a couple of times. He's at 27 carries in this one. And now he'll get his 28th carry, which goes for no gain. Clayton Essex, the first man there, along with Isaac Brackner. And they lose a yard to the 33. So 3rd down and 7 with 90 seconds left of the ball game. Letillier catches the snap with one hand. He's under pressure. Steps away from Talcott. Now scrambling. And he is just short. They'll mark it, it looks like, at the 22-yard line. He picks up 6 on a 3rd and 7. So 4th down and 1 as the clock now goes underneath of a minute to go in the ball game. They've gone for it twice on 4th down, failing both times. And this most certainly will be a 3rd 4th down attempt. Dickey and Stovall both come back in. So Barker set for a direct snap on a 4th down and 1. He needs 2 to hit the century mark. He needs 1 to move the chains. The snap to Barker. Zaid trying to probe the center of that defensive line, and he is not going to get it. Just a yard. Maybe not even a yard. He needed a long yard, and he got, well, not that. So he is just short by inches. They'll turn it over on downs. And unofficially, anyway, I've got Barker at 99 yards in this one as they turn it over on downs with 28 seconds. We'll see when the official stats come out from the coaching staff after the film breakdown. But unofficially, anyway, come up a yard short, it looks like, of that 100-yard mark. But perhaps I shorted him a yard somewhere, I hope, because it'd be nice for him to get that 3rd straight 100-yard game. Williams will take a kneel down, and that's going to do it for this ball game. So the second half only had one score. It was a Connor Haas 17-yard touchdown run, but the first half had plenty. In fact, the first 5 minutes had plenty, as Paola scores 3 times in the first 5 minutes of this game, and they win it 35-7 as the Panthers improve to 4-0 on the year, 3-0 in the Frontier League, and the Spring Hill Broncos drop back-to-back games, now 2-2 on the year and 2-2 in the league. Don't go anywhere. We've got plenty more to come for you on the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show. We'll wrap this one up with all the final numbers and more. Hopefully some thoughts from Coach feedback as well. Paola winners tonight, 35-7 over Spring Hill. You've been watching Spring Hill football on Spring Hill Sports Live. Shoemaker Collision post-game show is next.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Open, flexible, and dedicated to our clients with impeccable customer support. That's why you choose Tri-Century Bank. Have your bank right in your hands with mobile banking and manage your money from the comfort of your home with convenient online banking. Tri-Century is ideal for your business with competitive rates on loans and credit cards to help meet your goals. For 125 years, Tri-Century Bank has been serving Spring Hill. To learn more, join them for one of their monthly coffees. See upcoming events at tricentury.bank.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to Cool Crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your home for Bronco Athletics is Spring Hill Sports Live. The Broncos return home for a non-conference matchup Friday night as they welcome in the DeSoto Wildcats. Our pregame coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7. It's the Broncos and Wildcats right here on your home for Bronco Athletics, Spring Hill Sports Live.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome into the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show, Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center. They work with all insurance companies and get you back on the road in no time. To learn more, visit them online at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095. Now, this one really was, you could almost say, decided in the first 5 minutes of the ball game. That's when Paola struck early and often, and after that, things really settled in, and Spring Hill kind of played punch for punch with them. But that first 5 minutes was an ugly one for Spring Hill as they spotted Paola 21 points within 4 minutes and 54 seconds. Opening drive touchdown for Paola in 1 minute and 58 seconds. A 3-and-out block punt, one play touchdown later made it 13-0. Another 3-and-out, 2 plays later, a 45-yard touchdown. And all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, it was 21-0 Paola. That's when things settled in, though. Spring Hill answered with a touchdown drive of their own. They went 80 yards and scored. Zaid Barker from 3 yards out to make it 21-7. They continued to hold that same 21-7 score at the end of the first quarter and through the majority of the second quarter, all the way until the final minute of the second quarter when Paola took over just across midfield with 64 seconds left in the half. They got a couple of nice runs, then a 28-yard pass set them up down inside the 5-yard line. A 1-yard touchdown run with 13 seconds left in the half made it 28-7. It would remain 28-7 all the way till late third quarter when Connor Haas found the end zone for a third time. 17-yard touchdown run made it 35-7, and then nobody scored in the fourth quarter. So you take away the first 5 minutes, which obviously you can't do, but it was 14-7 Paola after that. Granted, their play calling, everything like that, it changes when you're up 35-7. They didn't have the foot maybe quite as much down on the gas pedal. When you have a 28-point lead in the second half, you kind of go into cruise control a little bit. But the point is, Spring Hill played much better football for the final 3 and a half quarters. It was really the first 5 minutes of this ball game, unfortunately, and that's now 2 weeks in a row that they have dug themselves an early hole. They did it last week against Bonner Springs, unable to climb back out of that one. They did it again here tonight, unable to climb back out of it as they fall 35-7 in this ball game to Paola, who improves to 4-0, and the Spring Hill Broncos drop to 2-2. We'll check the ball game numbers for you right after this. You're watching the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show on Spring Hill Sports Live.
A great collision.
Elliott Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Insurance Group, we work, live, and shop in our local communities, serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years. Elliott Insurance Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Insurance Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NAIC certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back inside the Shoemaker Collision post-game show on Spring Hill Sports Live. It is a final tonight in Paola. The Paola Panthers 35, the Spring Hill Broncos 7. Your finalists. Paola gets to 4-0, and Spring Hill drops to 2-2 with the loss here this evening. Let's take a look at our final numbers in this one as Paola puts up 406 yards of offense for the Panthers. That's about 50 yards short of what they averaged through 3 games so far this year offensively. 351 on the ground, 12 yards short of their season average, and just 55 yards through the air. That's a season low for the offense for Paola, the 55 passing yards, but they put up 35 points, and that's also a season low. So all in all, I mean, it's not necessarily a game that you're excited about or anything because you lost 35-7, of course, but there were a lot of good things, and especially after the first few minutes of this game, and the defense really held their own after that. Just wish they could obviously get that first 5 minutes back of the game. That would be that's really the difference in the ball game. But after that, pretty good job defensively. Spring Hill, 210 yards of offense in the game, 119 on the ground and 91 through the air. That 119 on the ground, that's a season low for them, but that is a lot for what this defense typically gives up for Paola. Their season high allowed had been 67 yards only on the ground from Bonner Springs. That 119 basically double the previous most yards allowed rushing by the Paola defense. The 210 total in this game for Spring Hill, that is a season-low offensive yardage production as well, as they fall 35-7 with, of course, the 7 points being a season low as well. Final individual numbers in this game, Garrett Williams just 2 of 4 through the air for 55 yards for Paola. On the ground, Williams ran 10 times for 31 yards, 1 touchdown. Big game from Connor Haas, 20 carries, 203 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The 203 yards, a season high for Haas, the 3 touchdowns as well. He's got 7 on the season now. 7 carries for 71 yards for Evan Phillips, who also caught 2 passes for 55 yards, and 8 runs for 44 yards and a touchdown for Fletcher Audi. 1 run, 2 yards for Giovanni Blackie. For Spring Hill, Evan Letillier, 7 out of 18, 91 yards in the ball game. Zayd Barker on the ground carried 29 times. I've got him unofficially at 99 yards on the ground with the 1 touchdown. That 1 touchdown for Barker, his 8th of the season. 5 carries, 38 yards for Zach Knowlton. And 1 carry, no yards for Corian Duff. 1 carry, loss of 8 for Logan Greenhall on the fake punt. Spring Hill receivers, Zach Knowlton, 3 catches for 43 yards. Gage Klutz, 2 catches for 40. Cameron Crotchett, 1 for 10. Those are your final stats in this one as Spring Hill falls to Paola 35-7. More on the Shoemaker Collision post-game show right after this on Spring Hill Sports Live.
What if grass wasn't just for mowing? What if all the games weren't on TV? What if you saw the grandkids on more than just holidays? What if you got out of the house more often, maybe for good? Cedar Lake Village Senior Living. Life is how you live, not just where. To learn more, call 888-508-2022.
When it comes to protecting your family, home, and business, look to a local, community-minded agent. In Spring Hill, that's Allstate agent Libby Clark. With more than 15 years of industry experience, Libby and her team are committed to providing a customized family protection plan that fits your needs. A full-service agency, Libby Clark offers a broad range of insurance and financial services, building relationships with a focus on helping their neighbors. That's the Libby Clark Agency. Visit them on the southeast corner of 223rd and Harrison in Spring Hill. Whitesell Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Whitesell Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Whitesell and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call Whitesell Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back inside the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show. We're joined now by Jason Feeback, the head coach of the Spring Hill Broncos. 35-7 the final tonight. Paola over Spring Hill on the road in Week 4. Coach, the first 5 minutes really of this game is, it's never as simple as just to break it down to that, but 21 points right away from Paola. After that, you guys settled in and played some pretty good football, it looked like. What's your take on the start of this game and then how you guys responded?
Last week, we struggled to stop the run with Bonner Springs and their running back. Paola was a strong running team. We wanted to give Paola a little different look than what they'd seen with us, so we went with a four-man front, one high safety, because they don't throw the ball that much. Usually if they did, they were only sending 3 receivers out, so we wanted to man those guys up and commit 8 to the box to stop those. We went back to our base defense after the first 3 drives. It was like, this isn't working. Let's quit doing the same thing if it's not working, because that's the definition of insanity or whatever they call it. So we switched back up to our base, and our guys kind of woke up a little bit, and we played a lot better. Started flying around and tackling people. So it was probably a little too late of adjustment. Might have overthought it this week. So, but we'll, live and learn.
Zay Barker ran the ball hard again. I had him at just a yard short at 99 of hitting the 100-yard mark for a third straight game against a defense that coming in is only allowing 18 yards per game on the ground. This was the most rushing yards they've allowed in a game this season. He was running the ball hard again tonight. Yeah,
Zayd's a good guy, good football player. We run a lot of things through him. He kind of makes things go for us. I think having Letillier starting his first game at QB, it was really important to try to establish the run. And Zayd carries a load like that, so we were able to get a couple packages in that just featured him as kind of a wildcat, wild Bronco, if you want to call it that, and was able to pick up some decent yardage on that, scored a touchdown on one of those plays. So it was a good little package that Coach Madeline came up with.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to give away the name of the package if you don't want to, but as you bring your 2 middle linebackers both in there to
we call it our Smurf package because they're all under 5'8", so that's what we call it.
Yeah, it was certainly effective at times, and defensively, it's hard to throw out some of these numbers because again, the final score and it's a loss, and it's hard to go back and think positive. And the defense gives up 35 points, but you hold them to 2 out of 8 on third downs. 2 of the 4 times they get in the red zone, you turn them over on downs. There's lots of building blocks, it seems like, off of that defense. Is it – I don't want to oversimplify things, but is it as simple as just getting off to a better start against teams like Bonner and Paola these last 2 weeks?
I think that would be a very, very simple answer. So, yeah, I'll go with simple. Yeah.
All right,
it'd be nice to start out really, really going, so –
Well, I also want to extend from up here in the broadcast booth in Spring Hill Sports Live and our thoughts and prayers to a couple of your guys here, and Hunter and Brady, who you both lost to injury in this game. Of course, lost Corbin last week to an injury, and hope for some speedy recoveries from those guys and hope for the best. So I know we don't know anything necessarily right now. You're just getting off the field. But
right. And I know you guys are sensitive to that too. I don't like to talk about kids and their injuries and kind of what's going on. I always feel like that's between them and their family.
Right.
The way we deal with it is the next man up. We have a depth chart for a reason, and we get another guy in. We got 60-some dressed out, we'll get another guy in there. And so, but yeah, prayers are appreciated. We'll check on those guys and give them what they need. And they're tough guys, so they didn't want to leave. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Coach. Well, appreciate you coming up here and chatting with us a little bit after this one. Go back home next week. DeSoto. It seems like every week it's another juggernaut that comes up on the schedule. This is a tough league and a tough slate that you're in right here in the middle of this, with 3 of 4 on the road and all 4 currently in the polls, top 10 ranked teams. But best of luck this week in practice. I know you'll get the guys ready to roll next Friday back home.
Absolutely, yeah. We told you it was every week
it
when
is.
we did
You
the
weren't
preseason. We're in the meat of the schedule, and those guys are where we want to be. And I think the only way you get there is you got to play those guys and you got to beat them.
Absolutely, Coach. Again, thanks for coming up, and best of luck next week. That's Jason Feeback, the head coach of the Spring Hill Broncos. Again, your final score tonight, 35-7. Paola wins this one to get to 4-0 and drops the Broncos to 2-2. Next week, as I mentioned, they're back home. It's senior night for the football senior night for the Broncos as they'll host DeSoto back home. They've lost 4 straight against DeSoto. Last win, 2014. That was an overtime win for them. DeSoto's been absolutely rolling, but not to discredit the wins, they haven't had murderer's row of opponents to start this season. They have absolutely rolled through them, though, so they're going to come in with a lot of confidence into that ball game. Meanwhile, Spring Hill going to come in off back-to-back losses, albeit to 2 good teams at Bonner Springs and Paola, but they're going to certainly have to get back to work this week and clean some things up and be ready to go, because DeSoto, just like Paola tonight, they're going to come out firing on all cylinders, you would imagine, right from the get-go in that one. So they'll need a much better start next week and hopefully get off the schneid here on this 2-game losing streak they've got going for them as they look to rebound next week back home. Some other scores for you. Fourth quarter score here. Lewisburg up on Pipers 16-6. So Pipers undefeated start at 3-0. Maybe in jeopardy there. They're down 10 in the fourth quarter of that ball game. Tonganoxie at halftime with a 21-14 lead on Bonner Springs. That one did not start as early as the rest of us did, so it's not quite there. But they've got a 21-14 halftime lead. Tonganoxie does, as they're perfect 3-0 to start the year on top of Bonner Springs in that one. And that's about all I've got. Updates from you from what we had earlier. Had a couple of early scores. Baldwin was up early on Eudora in the first half, 12-7. DeSoto, here's the final for you. DeSoto 56, Lansing 7. So, again, not a lot of competition there for DeSoto. They continue to cruise. I haven't seen a final in that Baldwin-Eudora game, though. It should be close to, if not final, at this point. But anyway, that's some of the rest of the action around the Frontier League tonight. And that's all the action we've got for you here tonight on Spring Hill Sports Live. So, for Caden Carbajo, I'm Bryce Kessler. Thanks for tuning in and joining us with some Spring Hill High School football tonight as they fall on the road. Your final score once more, Paola 35 and Spring Hill 7. You've been watching the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live.
It's time for Spring Hill High School football.
He's in the slot again to the right. Myers gets the snap. Standing tall in the pocket, going to take the shot down the seam. Klutz is there for a touchdown. Spring Hill. Barker up the middle. Nice jump cut out to the right behind his center, Denver Gardner, who had the middle linebacker tied up. And Barker is in for a 9-yard touchdown.
Spring Hill Sports Live is brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning, Price Chopper, Kim Thompson at Prudential Financial, the Spring Hill Recreation Commission, Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Cedar Lake Village, Crown Realty, the Elliott Insurance Group, Prime Accounting Solutions, Farmers Insurance, Leah Smith Agency, Tri-Century Bank, Allstate, Libby Clark Agency, the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce, Spring Hill Fitness, Perfect Detail Salon, and Whitesell Optometry.
5.